Alrighty, and we're live.
Hello, everybody.
10 o'clock on a Saturday. Y'all didn't expect this, eh?
10:30.
Well, that's true.
10:25. Can you pass me the remote, actually?
I can pass you the remote.
Thank you so much.
Hope everybody
guys.
is doing bless. We thought we'd switch it up this week. Normally we took last week off, actually, because a few weeks before that we did 2 podcasts in a row, and the audio was like a week and a half delayed. A week and a half? Yeah, about that. And it was just kind of like weird, so we thought, you know what, let's take a break.
So everything can balance back out.
Exactly, for 1 week, and then we get back into it. So now we're here, and we're doing it at this time on a Saturday for a very special reason. Should we explain it now, or should we wait till we get to the actual podcast part? No, we'll get to the podcast part before we explain it. Here's just in case you want to
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
So, I'll wait till you get that going. Wait for a couple of people to get in. This is like a different view that we normally do. I guess I don't
the DSLR is not on.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
No, this is the webcam. I knew it looked a bit different, and I could.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
wow, what a difference! Oh my gosh.
But when we go into the joint one, we're in the right thing. It's just Isn't that crazy? The different, like, color difference.
The color is just crazy. It looked. I was kind of like, oh, that looks like a bit like
yeah, why is it looking so damn yellow
or something? And yeah, that
out of
color
control.
correction's real that you get from the.
Mate, you get what you pay for all these things.
Facts.
See, look, the battery's going down so much already. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
All right. So now you got that going. Oh, you had to see it on the big screen.
See that? That's so funny.
All right. Let's see you do it. Here we go. Ready? It's good that you noticed that. Oh, that's hilarious. It's like orange to like blue.
Yeah, he's just like, whoa. Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to get right into the podcast side of things.
Let's
get it going, you know?
down.
All right. What is this? Episode 18, I believe. All right. What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 18 of Beer Not the Shit, the podcast, Adjunct Series Quarantine Edition. I am joined once again by my gorgeous, glorious partner and everything, Tiffany Alexis. Hey, babe.
Thank you so much for
You're
that
so
introduction.
welcome.
That
So
was so kind of you.
You like that one?
Yeah.
You appreciate that?
Just
You fuck with
happy
that?
to be here.
All right, look. Well, I'm happy. You're happy to be here.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So
Everyone's happy then.
Everyone's happy.
Are they all happy?
So we are here Saturday evening for those tuning in live. Shouts to y'all who tune in every week, except the 1 week when we don't do it, which was damn well last week. So this week we decided to do it on a Saturday and a little later than normal for a very special reason. So you guys know I'm from Melbourne, Australia. We've been focusing more on, I guess, promoting and supporting the Australian craft beer scene. It's really important to us. I've very much enjoyed meeting all the people from Australia, from the scene, trying the beers. So I've been trying to sort of, now that we've got this podcast series now that, we're at home, we are able to talk to people that we wouldn't always be able to talk to because we would typically be, or we'd have to be where they are. So now we're this starts week 1 of 3 consecutive weeks of Australian podcasts. The first, this is extra special for us because we don't get to speak to beer media very often. And beer media, it's really cool to talk to other people who do what we do in a similar way and understand everything in a similar way. So I'm going to bring these guys on right now. So right now we're joined from Brisbane, Australia, in Queensland. We got the Sunday Sesh podcast boys. So Stevo, Mick, and Steve. Fellas, actually I'll put you all on the full screen. There you are.
There we go, guys.
Welcome.
Greetings from the land of tomorrow.
I love it. Because it technically is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is. We only do this correctly on a Sunday, so...
Oh, yeah, so it actually works out well. Do you have to...
Yeah. Are you recording after this?
I was about to say, yeah.
Yes. That's my hoping, yes.
All depends on how this goes.
How much libations we've taken.
I respect that. It's going to be an interesting one. So speaking of libations, before we get into the crux of it, what are you all drinking? I think you're all drinking something different there.
Yeah, what different beers? I've got one I haven't tried before. Little Bang, I don't know if you can see that. Little Bang Brewing's Schwangberry.
Okay.
Oysterberry Sour.
Where are they from? South Australia?
South Australia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Schwang, that's a cool name.
Schwangberry.
I like it.
And I got the Filter XPA.
The
I
class.
thought I'd bring the XPA on because that would be a nice little segue to something that you wanted to discuss, I believe.
Yes, it was definitely good memory because
nice.
you guys are jumping on. You guys are my favorite men. You guys are always in the comments during our live sessions, and I appreciate y'all very, very much. So this is dope to do it. Let me just switch to the camera so I can show people what we're drinking. So we're drinking Overhops Mad Manu, a American-style blonde ale. These guys are good friends of us. They were originally from Brazil. They moved to Canada a few years back. They started in Toronto.
It's got a brat style.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the brewer's daughter.
Yeah.
One of the brewer's daughters.
Apparently she's kind of wild. So these guys just opened their first production facility. They were contracting for a couple years, and now they opened their facility. Their new beers they just started canning are phenomenal. So I want to shout to them because they are legends. So cheers, guys. Pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Get it in ya.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Clinky clinkies.
No, COVID clink. You got to stay.
Oh yeah. 1.4.
That's why you guys are spread apart, right? Because you guys are taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
That
Maybe we
makes
should get the
sense.
COVID stuff out the way.
Yeah,
First
I
of
would
all,
love to.
you guys, Queensland are doing
Aren't you guys killing it?
You
You
guys
guys
are-
are great.
actually killing it. Like
Sorry, but killing it in the good way. Like in the good way.
It's dying, you know.
No one's dying. Yeah.
So they released a post today, the Queensland government. There's been no new cases overnight. It's been that way for about a week. We did have one couple of stupid girls come up from Melbourne,
I heard.
Sydney, and stuck through.
Right.
That pretty much got that shut down fairly quick.
Was that before
Wait, but
the?
did they have the virus? They came with.
Yeah, and they brought
Are
it.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
And did
They
they?
went down there for a holiday or a party or something, and decided to bring it back and not tell anyone
Stole
where
a bunch
they'd
of
been.
handbags from bloody Louis Vuitton stores
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow, like full on dickheads.
Wow.
Worked at a school as janitors. Janitors?
Yeah.
Couple
There's
of
something
them.
like that.
So
yeah.
there was just, and they just, they going over the border and they did not disclose. They actively lied, basically. So they are getting charged up to 5 years jail.
Hopefully.
As they should.
Wow.
As they
How
should.
many people did they infect?
So far, only the one from community transmissions.
Okay.
Everyone else in that area, a lot of people, like the tests went crazy. People getting tested because
They shut down a whole
they basically
city.
went on a tour of Brisbane. Like they went to like South Bank and a couple of restaurants and some sporting centres and like they're living life like normal.
They're such a
Yeah.
little butterfly COVIDs they are.
And then
Wow.
they got sick and got tested and realised how stupid they are.
Okay. How did they
Wow.
get? Because I know the Queensland border has been closed for some time. Like, how did they get to Melbourne and back? Like, how does that work?
The border has only been closed as of yesterday. It was closed to Victoria and hotspots, like that's for driving over the border.
Okay.
You can still fly. So they flew from Melbourne to Sydney, and then apparently the only checks in Sydney were when you actually left the airport.
Okay.
And because they didn't leave the airport, they jumped on another plane straight to Brisbane. They pretty much got through without any other checks. And when they filled out where they've been, their form, they basically lied on that. So
Crazy.
And they could have infected everyone on the plane then as well.
Yeah.
they could have. So I think they've tracked everyone who was on the plane, gets everyone tested.
Yeah,
Oh
put in
my
contact.
gosh, what
basically
idiots.
that.
Such
It's
idiots.
lucky it has more widespread down there. Down that side of
Yeah.
it.
Crazy because
Yeah,
one
they could
person
go
could
for
just fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah,
They could
one
destroy
dick.
it. They could have just yeah.
I saw people.
Especially if you're being very social and going out to these places that, just have more than 5 people there, 6 people there.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what. So my mum was saying, because she's in the suburbs of Melbourne, obviously, and she was saying that they were killing it. Everything was great out there. Like Tiff's best friend from Toronto, and she married or got engaged to an Aussie guy and had a kid down there. So she was out flitting around, going out and
But she was
stuff.
having margaritas, and I was like, "You're having margaritas out on like a patio?" I was like, "I don't know about
I was like,
that."
what's up with
And
that?
she's like, "Oh, everything's fine. It's all good here." And then
And then mum was like, "Oh yeah."
Baby.
It's exactly what you said. It's the mum said it was and it sounds like this is pretty common across the country. It was the groups. It wasn't the community spread like you were mentioning, because most people are pretty responsible in that sense. But it was the people having people over at the house or something like that, where there might be 20 people or 10 people in an enclosed area, and they would just
The she'll be right attitude.
yeah.
right, which is what we love about Australia, but also
The latest spread in Victoria started because where they were holed up, like in quarantining in the hotel,
yeah.
apparently the security guards there decided to get a bit frisky with a few of them, and that's how it started spreading
that
everywhere.
was-
So
Yeah.
Aussie.
that's
Australia.
they're in quarantine, but let's have a pot, like, let's have a crack. Like, what the hell?
And
So
then
that's-
that basically took down the entire
the entire city.
Yeah.
They took that one thing.
Yeah, and it's spread right through the state now. It's horrendous down there.
All-
unfortunately.
Quarantinis need loving too.
Yeah.
Wow, clearly.
That's unbelievable.
That's
I mean,
crazy,
like,
though.
it's funny,
I
but
know,
it's
right?
not really, like, because mad people are probably dying from this shit now.
Yeah.
Because one
Yeah.
dude couldn't keep it in his pants. That's amazing.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, people, huh?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, that's just wow. Yeah. Can you
It's-
pass it that can?
I can, yes.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Either way, I'm glad you guys are good. I'm glad Queensland
you're safe
are
and taking it
being,
seriously.
smart. Let's just cover all the COVID stuff now because I know we can't help but talk about it, so we can get it the fuck out the way and then move on to more fun stuff. How's it been as far as the beer scene? I know Mick and Steve had jumped on in the comments and past podcasts and we talked about it a bit, but do you want to let folks know how it's been? Like, how's it affected the beer scene? I imagine that probably Range and the hype breweries are probably still got lines of everybody lining up to get the beers. Like, what's the vibe?
The online market obviously has exploded, so that's helped those guys. Range, Banks, Deeds, the three big hazy boys. And those the other Mountain Culture nowadays is another one from down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking from Queensland or Brisbane, things aren't, as far as I can see, too bad. I mean, breweries are still open. One opened yesterday that I went to the opening for.
Wow.
I mean, it has hurt a couple. We've had one of our locals actually had to close due to it.
Okay. Permanently?
He was he was a very small venue.
Yeah.
He was getting into a few bottle shops around, but it just wasn't enough for him. Like the sales are like he basically lived off the tradies and stuff going to him in the afternoons, and that sort of with this whole COVID thing died off for him, and he wasn't sustainable enough, which is sad.
Damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
Those who haven't been able to pivot to wholesale or canning, etc., have probably struggled more.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, because being the smaller one, doesn't have his own canning line, so he got someone in like the canning.
The mobile canning. Yep.
Yeah.
What was that brewery
I'm
called?
sorry, and just a translation there, tradies means construction workers. Or
Yes.
Yes.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, just
No.
No.
If you
Don't-
work in a trade,
Yes.
you are a
Tradie.
You're
You're no trader then.
Don't tone it
No,
down.
it's not a no for some
No.
reason.
Trader.
Tradie. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Don't tone yourselves down. Be Aussie as fuck. I love it.
No, I'll be here to translate. Don't
Tiff
you
will do the
worry, I'll do
translation. She speaks fluent Australian. All right. She's good. Please.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Steve. I continue.
So that brewery was White Brick Brewing.
White Brick. Okay, I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little one.
A little local.
That's a shame.
Yes.
It sucks. Real quick, we got a comment. Bruce Morris, shouts to Bruce, legend.
Hi,
He's actually a
Bruce.
Canadian who just got back into Canada. He lives in Dallas, Texas, but he's back here for a few months. Hopefully, we have to
Welcome
keep
home.
him. He just said on the topic before, because the comments are a little delayed from the actual video. Did you see the 250,000? I hope he's joking. 250,000 bikers in Sturgis, North Dakota, with no masks. Fucking
Legit
hell.
250,000?
Oh,
America is like.
Gosh. Oh my
Honestly, the
gosh.
states are done for, bro. Like, I really hope they keep the borders closed.
Yeah, same. I really hope they keep the borders closed forever.
Oh,
What's going on?
Mum and Dad went to Sturgis
Sorry,
in 2013.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mum and Dad went to Sturgis in 2013, and they said it was absolutely.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's why he said it? Because he saw the thing in
Yeah,
the background?
that's the flag behind us, the 2013 Sturgis.
So is it a bike rally? Is that what it is?
It is. It's a motorbike rally. Yep.
That's why
Okay.
you heard Harvey earlier.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Have you heard of the Full Throttle Saloon?
I have not, no.
Okay, that was.
Grab a beer.
Yeah. The Full Throttle Saloon was it was a bar that was
Oh, yours and so.
built on property out at Sturgis, and they end up having a reality show kind of created around them. So they got a lot of love around there. So yeah, Mum and Dad went there, and it was really a really thriving thing until maybe an insurance fire kind of did something, and then he went to
Right.
it on a tour. But yeah, that was massive in Sturgis. But Mum and Dad said the amount of people at that time, and they're only there for the amount of time that it's open, which is only a few weeks,
Okay.
is just nuts. And yeah, there's going to be shit happening coming out of that for sure.
Oh,
Isn't
man.
there a rally at Story Bridge or something this weekend?
Surely that
There
would
is
be something.
something. Yeah, I don't know too much about that one, to be honest. But yeah, there'll be a rally. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But they're all wearing their masks anyway when they're on their bikes,
Yeah, right.
which is the thing. And you're not going to be closer than 1.2 meters on a bike anyway.
No.
So that's kind of social distance.
Kind
But,
of.
Kind of. But yeah, when you're all going to a pub and you got 3,000 in a space of 3,500, that's not going to be good.
No chance. Really not good. Yeah, I mean, at least I can understand bikes rather, but if you've got 250k, and it's not the actual when they're riding, it's when they stop and do things. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a social gathering basically. So
It is.
yeah, how can you be distanced if you're going there to be social?
Exactly.
exactly. There's no other way around it.
So irresponsible and
Ugh.
just insane that it's allowed to happen.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Man, Bruce, I'm happy you're back in Canada, mate.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What's the new ones? Might as well keep talking about the beers because we want to make sure we're showing the people. What do you got there?
Wayward Raspberry Berliner Weiss.
Nice, straight to the sours. I like that.
It's not my jam, but get them out of the way early before
All
I
right.
move into the
Before the real stuff. What do you got there, Steve? What's that one? Lemon lime sour. Who's that from?
Hope Lemon Lime Sour. I'm in a sour mood today.
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
sick
pretty
label.
cool. I
That's a
like
dope
that.
label.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
Did you upgrade?
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Did you upgrade, Mick, or are you still in the same one?
No, I'm still going. I'm a sipper, man.
He's a slow drinker.
I'm there for a long time. So
I
There
respect
you go.
that.
There you go.
You
Marathon.
go on the marathon drinker.
Marathon.
Yeah, you're like us.
yes,
We're not
I'm a
crushing
marathon
through.
drinker, and we just got off dry July, so my rhythm's all off.
Yes, do you
Oh,
want to tell us
yeah,
about that?
we
Because
can
you guys
go.
also did it for a really good cause too. You guys actually raised a bunch of money,
Yeah,
and you did it. And also
Yeah,
being a
so-
beer podcast, like that's even more impressive
Yeah.
that
No,
you're
no,
able.
right?
To, yeah, tell us about that, guys.
We ended up raising, it was just under $1,500, I think 1,450 not
Yeah.
thousand. Which we were pretty impressed with.
Yeah.
So the reason behind it, well, we first suggested it as a way because we're all big dudes.
Portland.
Thought, oh, if we have a month off beers, maybe we'll drop a few kilos. And so we signed up, realised you can actually raise money for different cancer foundations.
Mm.
And so I picked the Leukemia Foundation because earlier this year, or January this year, my brother was diagnosed with leukemia.
Oh, gosh.
So we thought, seeing the shit he's had to go through all year, and it's, so the Leukemia Foundation did some really good things, and it was, easy to not drink for a month and raise some money for him.
Absolutely.
Good on
Especially
you.
when we're hearing stories of what he was
Yeah.
having to go through.
Yeah,
Right.
and what Leukemia Foundation actually do for the people, more than happy to help support.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, as I said, it was for a health thing and a good cause as well. I ended up dropping 9 kilos, so I'm happy with it.
Dope.
Damn.
That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Did you-
I had a lot to drop, so you know. It's
Hey, 9 kilos. That's at like 20 pounds.
Wait,
so
20 pounds is a lot. Yeah, that's
over here for
it's
the.
like a start when they increase to discount, you know.
We actually we did a podcast with Mark as well. It was really good. We learned a lot about what the Leukemia Foundation actually
Yeah.
does.
Right.
Real talk.
Yeah, it was really impressive, and it certainly steeled our resolve to
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually stick to it.
It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff they help out with. Simple things as like supplying cancer coke and ice blocks and stuff like that for them in the hospital when they're there.
Yeah, bringing up the kid, the school of the child to explain a few things.
Yeah.
Get some private school
Get some
fees
some
Helping out
fees
with-
waived and
Transport to the
Wow.
hospital and
That's
accommodation
dope.
nearby if they need it for people who are away from the hospital. So
Hey,
it's,
Redjo.
and even things like car registration and stuff like that. It's really impressive.
That's great, guys. Good on you for one sticking it out because we used to do they have dry January here because I guess that's the winter equivalent to a degree.
Yeah.
And we used to do that as well, and it used to be super tough
And then-
until I actually saw this beer writer in Ontario, in Toronto. He was like, "It's better to do," and this might be something a tip for you guys. He was like, "If you're in the beverage industry and your job is to drink," which arguably we are kind of adjacent, but whatever, our job is to drink.
yeah.
And he said instead of doing like a dry July or dry January type of thing and taking 30 days off and then kind of going hard, if you take 2 days off a week, that ends up being 104 days a year versus the 30 or 31 days of July or January. So like that's I tried to do. I moved into a strict 4 days on, 3 days off per week. And I do it the same days. Like I'm gonna take Sunday, Monday off, back on Tuesday, off Wednesday, and then on Thursday to Saturday. And I found that being like a nice way to kind of, I don't know, you know what it's like, because you always got new stuff to do. You have to document things, you have to talk about it, you have to whatever.
Yeah.
And it's one way to kind of like stop you kind of drinking every damn day and just kind of like moderate it. So I find that pretty good, but I don't know if I could do like a full month. So the fact that you guys did it and supported a charity and raised money and also highlighted the charity on your podcast, like, man, good on you. More power to you. I think that's great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Phenomenal,
guys.
boys. Good on you. Yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to that, goddammit.
Yeah.
And is your
Yes.
brother? How's your brother doing?
So I think he's about 50 days past his transplant day.
Oh,
and
happy
it's-
birthday too, Mark.
Yeah, his birthday yesterday. So yeah, happy
Nice.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday, bro. Actually, it's his
And
birthday
he's-
today here still.
Yes. Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
today, yeah.
Look at that.
Fit.
And so it's still hitting him pretty hard. But the recovery from the transplant is almost as hard as the chemo. He says it's just like fatigue to the max. So he can barely walk anywhere without having to sit down and rest.
Yeah.
So just to show his steely resolve, he was determined to go camping this weekend. So he's gone and done that for his birthday. You know, something to try to get a little bit of life back to normal for him.
Good.
The doctors didn't want him to go. They caved and said, yeah, one night, but don't tell the doctors, but he's going to try to stick it out for 2 nights. He's big into his 4-wheel driving, so he was hoping to go do a bit of 4x4ing himself, but the doctor said strictly no driving because he hasn't got the muscle tone for driving yet because he's been so fatigued and just, yeah. But, yeah, he's persevering, but, yeah, there are definitely hard days for him like that have been and still to come.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully he's, keeps climbing up that hill and just getting better and better
Yeah.
each day.
Yeah.
And, that's great, guys.
Yeah. It's great that you
I
did
love
that.
it. Let's get into telling. Oh, I'll take that. Telling folks about you guys. So how, basically, the usual stuff. People would know about you guys. Like, how did you get into beer, and then how did you all kind of connect, and then how did the podcast come together? Why a podcast versus, say, like a blog or a video thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can say me and Steve went to school together, so we've known each other for a long time. And
Yep.
me and Mick used to work together in the Bottle-O. I'm still there, and Mick's now a lady of leisure.
I love it.
No, he's not. He does his own thing now. So for me, getting into craft beer was from working in the bottle shop. Actually, I used to be a 4X summer and Great Northern, like basic lager style drinker,
Yeah.
Coronas.
Yeah, how clean is this shit?
Yeah. and then started on some wild yak and lazy yak and that sort of easy drinking, like the James Squire stuff. I don't know how familiar you are with those sorts of
I
The
know.
gateway crops.
Yeah, I know all of
Yeah.
those. Yep. They were my gateways even before I moved here. So
Yeah.
yes, yep.
Yeah, so started there, and then it was gave Steve a couple, and the slippery slope started from that. Really, it's it doesn't stop.
I'm a pretty obsessive person. If I get into a hobby, I'm all in.
It's all in.
Yeah.
And I'd been in bands, playing in metal bands my whole life, most of my adult life, and that all kind of fell away. And had all the gear still, most of the gear.
What did you play?
Steve, I got me guitar.
Nice.
There's quite a bit of me out there on YouTube. You can even see one rocking the North Carolina Michael Jordan jersey.
Nice.
Nice.
Sad.
Ramp it.
He did the intro, so when you listen to the podcast, you got the
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's any music you ever hear on our podcast.
Is all you?
yeah,
That's
which
dope.
is fantastic. Yeah, and I started while I was at the Bottle-O with Steve, I was doing YouTube. So I was doing Mick the Middleman. I was doing Drunk Aussie Guy Plays. So I was doing game videos, and then I switched it up into a bit of a mixed brew review. So I would review beers basically,
Right.
a very amateur, off the top of my head kind of style, with a little bit of tongue in cheek, dad jokey kind of now and then.
Love it.
Yeah, and then got when
Yeah.
it was one Sunday we got together and we just started talking, and we're like, what we're doing now should be recorded somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know how to make beer. We like beer. We like good beer. Let's talk about it and record it.
We talk about it a lot.
Chuck a microphone on and see how we go. Again, a lot of the inspiration comes from another podcast from down in Melbourne, Mashed In.
Yeah.
Did the same thing what these guys have done to you. They've jumped into the comments and hijacked, because they did a live one every Saturday. So we've jumped in and hijacked their comments, and next minute we met him at a beer fest. And it's like, how cool is it? They're one of them's a brewer, so that's his into the industry. It's like, well, how can we get in and help promote an industry that we really love, and let's talk about it and see who we can meet, and along the way. And it's been great so far.
Made some great mates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think searching through, obviously, Brews News in Australia is the podcast.
That's pretty cool.
The beer
Yeah.
podcast.
That's the one. Okay.
Found one called BAOS. Started harassing that one on Facebook.
I'm glad you did.
I love that. I love that.
No, okay. I love that. When did you guys start that? When did it all start? Like,
Probably
We're almost 2 years in.
I've got a
2 years in.
photo of when we were sitting around the table and the concept kind of came to pass when we tried to do our
2 years.
first recording, I think. So that was just under 2 years.
That was when I was
Amazing.
trying to use like band room gear.
Yeah, and we're in the shed, and then the kid was playing out on the trampoline.
The
Yeah,
good old days.
good old days.
Oh.
Back now, you're pros. Now you guys are
Yeah.
pros at it.
Well,
So
Yeah.
Well,
we've got all the gear but no ideas.
I don't think any of us do. We have no idea what the fuck is going on at any given time. The next thing that you guys, I'm not sure if it's all of you or if it's just Steve that runs it, but the Aussie Beer Pods Instagram account, like sort of tracking that Steve, tracking all the things. Tell us about how that came about, man, because that's really been something like I've been paying more attention to the Australian scene over the last, I guess we first went back in 2016, then I went back in 2018, 2019, started interviewing people, the breweries are getting familiar. I went to a beer festival last year. We were supposed to go this year, but then our good mate COVID came through, so it didn't work out. But
Good mates, it was like a nice combination of mates. It was like a fire mate.
Oh, the fire? 'Cause all the fires, it didn't seem fun
And we're
to
like,
kinda
hey,
go
let's
there.
pause for a second. Maybe we'll
We're
push
like,
it to thing. It's fine. Like,
yeah.
we'll just push it a little bit.
then
There was also like this weird cyclone thing that was happening for a little bit too, which I thought was interesting.
and we thought it might have been worse. And
Yeah,
then
and
Mum
then
talked about
COVID
COVID because we didn't have it here. Well, no one was talking about it
Yeah.
because you guys are closer to China. So no one was talking about it. I was like, what is she talking coronavirus? What is Mum on about? And all of a sudden,
And
we
we're
were
like,
trying to
all
go.
right, there's like something happening over there in
Yeah.
China. Like maybe there'll be one thing that comes over. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
like, whatever.
Yeah,
And then,
that's the other side of the world.
right? We're like, there's no chance. So
Whatever.
everything kind of got a little crazy, so we didn't get to go back. But I've been focusing a lot more and starting to, connect with people out there, and it's been cool. One of the thing that made me stoked, I don't know if I told you the other day, Steve, because I speak to Steve mostly, but the Beer Cartel website that does the online bottler. Basically, they have a survey. I always fill in the Aussie surveys and always just vote for the breweries that are my friends. And I've checked in there, and they were asking like which beer podcast you listen to, and this is the first year we were in there, and I was like, Australia recognizes this right now, and I was really, really happy and proud of that. And it's dope because I've been learning more about the other beer podcasts, and I follow them more now because of the Aussie Beer Pods account. Now I'll get to it's in my face. You don't want to just tell people like how that came about, what the deal is.
Yeah, okay. But by the way, I think that Beer Cartel list was like the 20 that I track, which was cool.
Oh right, so they got it from you.
It's our first year on it too. We're pretty stoked.
Yeah?
Because the Sunday Sesh was on it, so we're like, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So that means we all.
They really love.
That's amazing. Hey, that's
I love
pretty
that.
sick. I
I
mean,
love
we both
that.
made it at the same time. I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at us, guys, coming up, eh? Look at us. Look at us.
Now, look, I talk to other beer podcasters as well, and there's a massive source of frustration of trying to track how well you're going with the Apple Podcast ratings, which seems to be the standard that everybody goes by.
Yes.
You can be ranked 100 one day, 3 the next, 170 the next.
Yes. It's
So-
so crazy.
What I guess I kind of recognised was day to day, it's going to change heaps, but if you're consistently good, you're by averages, you're going to be at the top there.
Yes.
But nobody's tracking by averages, so I thought, well, fuck it, I will.
Okay.
And so every day I record the the charts for every bloody beer podcast, and it takes some time, but yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
bet.
good fun.
He loves it because he's a big stat nerd.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
always been a stat. Yeah, loves Excel spreadsheets. So yeah,
It's perfect for you.
and yeah, I've had most of the other Australian beer podcasts at some point now reach out and be like, yeah, okay, this is good. I had no idea how to measure this before, and yeah, it actually feels really cool.
That's so cool.
That's dope. I really.
He's not even fudging it so he can be on top.
Damn, man.
I know.
You could be. We're number one. Sunday
Sunday
Sesh
Sesh.
every week.
Crazy.
No one else is
52
gonna
weeks in
know,
a row.
We trust in
I
you,
know.
bro. You're too honest, man. You're too honest. It's actually it's really cool because I think
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Think about cheating next time. Think about it for the next one. But I learned
52 weeks on the top.
52 weeks this
Yeah, it's
consecutive.
crazy.
I learned about all the charting stuff from you and from the Beer Healer podcast. Because he hit me up one time asking me how we do stuff and telling me about my chart position. I'm like, what are you talking about, my chart position? And he told me about Chartable. So I was like, fuck, this is amazing. So now I keep track of it. I've signed up both our podcasts to it and stuff. And like, we've found that we've been, I'm sure you guys might have had some random places. We've had like we always say top 50 because it's like, that's, I don't know, the easiest way to do it. But some of them have been, we got to number 2 in Japan because we interviewed my friend Matt, he's a singer in a metal band called Cryptopsy.
Of course, Matt.
Yeah, Matt is a legend. So, him being on that just because he was on our podcast and I think he just toured Japan.
Yeah.
So they were thinking of him and then we got, and I was like, oh wow, it blew my mind. So it was just really cool to kind of like track everything. And just to sort of see how it all works and didn't even know it existed. That's an interesting part about podcasting. It's the most vague and least transparent medium because everyone can see your YouTube views. Everyone can see how many likes you get on Instagram. But no one can know. I didn't even know if I trust the back end stats that I even get for the podcast as well. Like it's sort of, like I said, it fluctuates. It's actually pretty consistent, but the charts fluctuate so much. So it's sort of like, it's just something that people don't really talk about. So it's nice to at least, even if you're there going through all the averages, it's just to get an idea of where people are at as far as Aussie podcasts. It's a cool thing. I've never seen that anywhere else, whether here in Canada or even in the States, because I'm sure they have the most. It's very cool.
Just something quickly there. Both Chris, the Beer Healer, and Matt from Revel, both
Matty,
in their chats with myself, said that they have had tips from you as well. So that's
they're legends. We actually have Matt on next week, so I'm super stoked about that because it's like back, and he was just telling me he was just on your podcast, so he was stoked about that. Like I was telling you earlier, before we went online, like I don't get to connect with other beer podcasts very often. So it's dope just because it's a nuanced, special thing that we just understand, like what it's like and what we're trying to achieve with all this stuff, and that you don't get to talk to too many people like that very often. I find at least anyway. So I appreciate it. We just got a comment here. Sports and Brews just said, "What's the link to the podcast?" Oh, Tiff already put it in.
And I just dropped it in there for you.
For the
sweet.
for
that's
the Sunday
Apple,
Sesh Apple link. And they're asking you guys, I'm going to go grab the next beer, but they're asking you guys, what are the top 3 best beers in Australia?
Here, I'll grab it.
You want to grab it?
Oh,
I'll take a piss, but okay, go for it.
That's a loaded question, man.
Yeah.
Like we will all have.
You all have a different top 3.
Maybe one the same, but we're all going to have 3 different.
I want to hear it.
So,
what are we doing here? Are we going like, what's the best beer right now?
What's the subcategory? What do we got to work with here?
Well, he just said best beers in Australia, top 3.
Okay, the best beer in Australia is the one that I'm drinking right now.
Okay.
That changes every time I have a new beer. So
okay.
Yeah.
But does that count for top? I don't think you can use that for 3.
Okay,
that's cheating.
I'm a really massive, big fan of the Exit Saison. That just for the style, that is easy to drink and really, really nice. That's always a favourite for me.
And I'm not a Saison person at all, so that would be at the bottom of my list.
Yeah,
mine would be something absolute super juicy. And my last year's, it's not available now, but my last year's limited beer of the year was Ether's Mango Sticky Rice IPA.
Wow.
It was just the thickest full-on thing that you could get. You needed to take a few sips to get acquainted with it, and then you could enjoy it. But if you didn't get past those few sips, you would not go further. But once you did, oh my god, beergasm.
Yep, that sounds beautiful. You have to do 3 each, right? I just want to point that out there.
Okay. All right. So
So
I'm gonna go. For a pale ale, I can't go past the Black Hops Pale Ale, one of my all-time favourites.
Yeah, check out Black Ops.
Yeah, Black Hops, yeah.
Based down on the Gold Coast, on the Goldie.
On the Goldie.
Goldie.
On the Goldie.
Yeah.
Why am I call it Gold Coast all this time?
What'd
You
you
didn't tell me that one.
about Goldie?
Yeah.
I told you about Goldie the
I
other
know you
night.
told me
What you
about
talking about
that one.
Come on.
Bill Cat's called.
No, I sound like an amateur saying the full word.
Yeah, no, you got to be.
Yeah,
You can tell you're a tourist if you say Gold Coast.
I got to rep Bacchus. For me,
Yes.
Bacchus is
Oh,
the best
Bacchus.
brewery in the land.
For a dessert,
Yeah,
for a dessert beer.
styles, yeah.
Yep.
As far as stouts
Yeah.
go,
Pick one of their beers then.
Yeah.
How can you? That's like picking a favourite
I'm
child.
going to go just the Belgian Mocha Stout.
Mocha.
Bacchus Belgian Mocha
Mocha.
Stout.
Just real.
Freaking
It's
delicious.
fire. When I first got here, my good friend, my old co-host Scott, used to give me so much shit for saying mocha because they say mocha here.
That's hilarious. It's
He'd
mocha.
go, oh, mocha,
It's
mocha,
okay,
mocha.
you're allowed to be wrong.
Right? Bloody Canadians, I tell you.
Hey, you're in Canada, so you speak Canadian. Speak Canadian.
Right? Sorry.
Yeah.
What are you
Oh,
talking
fair
about,
enough,
eh?
fair
See?
enough,
You
fair
got the
enough.
aboo.
Touche.
Touche with you. Did everyone...
That's not the South Bar jokes.
Yeah, we should say-
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Sports
Come here,
and
buddy,
Brews.
guy.
Sports and Brews really enjoyed Beergasm. So
Beergasm.
He said, yeah, he did.
Oh, you like the beer
So that, what'd you say was
man,
mango
Beergasm's a
sticky
great-
rice IPA? Was that the thing? It was mango?
It was- yeah,
What'd you say?
You know what? I'm going to
Have you
go
got
get
the
the
can?
can. Yes.
Yeah.
It's my favourite, so I kept
That's
the
so
can.
cool.
One moment.
Yeah.
That's dope. Mango sticky rice, that just sounds sick.
Yeah.
It was so weird because the first mouthful, you're like, what the fuck have they done here? It's like, you've eaten an Asian food with coconut rice and they've just squeezed the juice into a can with flavoured beer. But it sounds disgusting, but it really works.
That's amazing.
Another beer similar, not similar flavour, but the same thoughts when you first had that sip. It's the Bacchus peanut brittle goza.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Peanut brittle goes.
peanut brittle can be. Yeah, it's amazing. The first
Same.
sip is, oh, that's sweet. It's nutty. It's salty, and then it's just amazing. Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
it is gorgeous. Yes.
That's crazy. I actually find
Yeah,
that
check that
Australian. Oh, there it is. Ooh, look at that sticky. That's sexy. What a can.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Damn. Go
Wow.
back to the Skype. Let me
It
see
is
that.
Yeah, they're a beautiful can. That
Good
gold.
looking can.
Yeah, it's not. It's a label, but it's metallic, which is cool.
That's
So that was
crazy.
Yeah,
the
that
Beer
was
Insider
cool.
experience, which is
Right.
a beer festival here. Oh, now Melbourne and Sydney too.
They've done that everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, these are the
We're all
things.
showing off our labels now.
Nah, show it off. Oh, Bacchus. Yes, I've seen you post that. I know that because Steve, you always post it. And you always have like a whole bunch. Okay. And you got them because they always write on them. Sick. All right.
It looks like they're actually printed, believe it or not.
That one's printed. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because a lot of the ones you've posted before, they
Yeah.
just look like someone's written on them. It looks like you got
Yeah,
like...
it does, eh? Yeah,
brewery
that's
only.
The style he does, which is cool.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So round off probably my third, like the one I'm
Yes.
just having now from Deeds, the hazy pale. I'm really enjoying that, just as a bit of a tropical kind of pale.
Yes. These guys are great. They're
Yeah.
I think they're from Melbourne, right? Are they?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were one of the first. The first 3 hazy IPAs I had from Australia. The Quiet Train, I think it was called. Juice Train.
Juice Train. Yeah.
That shit was fire, man. That was like very good. Very impressed. So we're on that note. We're about to bust out this next one. This is Nickelbrook. See if we can. What's this? I haven't had this before. I don't know what. Can you tap that screen there, babe? Come on.
So is that just called a nice ice IPA?
Very nice IPA.
Oh, very nice IPA.
Very nice.
I was going to say nice IPA. You know, that's easy to reach. You know,
Yeah,
you're
you
not
know.
trying to get above a certain bar there. It's,
No,
it's
it's
a
like-
nice IPA.
Very nice.
Very nice. Let's see. These guys are from Burlington, Ontario. They're good mates of ours. They're. I got new glasses. I got fresh glasses.
Yeah, fresh
Come on
glassware. Thank you.
now. Come on. We think we're professionals here. These guys do some good stuff. So we got the top 3 beers out. Oh yeah, it looks like I love it. You gotta pour the yeast at the bottom. There we go. That's what I want to see. Get in there.
Yeah, lots of yeast there.
Yeah, you like that yeast?
Thank you.
Oh wow.
Oh, what's going
Oh
on?
wow.
Cheers, works.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dad.
Cheers.
Up your bum.
Hey, Craig.
Mm,
Sorry,
mm.
mate. I've just plugged in our device to a power bank. Can you hear that scratchy sound, or is it going to be
Hissing.
okay?
I cannot hear any scratchy sounds. No, everything is sounding pretty good.
Okay.
Slight.
But I can't see Mick
Scratchy.
anymore. Mick is out of the picture.
Yeah, the cable made it spin a little bit.
Okay.
Bring Mick
Check you out.
There he
Yeah,
is.
there he
There
is.
you
What's he
go.
doing? All right, so we got the top three. That was that part. I'm trying to think what I had to do, where I was going to go next. I lost it. So we got the other stuff. So as far as like the one thing I've been impressed with in Australia is like the hype breweries, the quality of all the hype breweries. Like Mr. Banks, we've had him on the podcast a couple times. Chris is a good mate.
West Coast IPA is one of my favourites.
It's fire. Is it? I think it was a new one they dropped recently, right?
Oh,
Yeah, all the time.
yeah, that's one of the toxic ones that's in core age, but yeah, they
Okay.
drop new ones all the time.
Yeah.
I think I've got one of theirs today.
I love it. I love that you guys
you,
are.
you still going to do Sorry, you
No.
still going to do the hardcore hip hop crossover with Chris?
I would love to. If he's down, funnily enough, I actually just did a song with Matt from Cryptopsy. So we just finished it.
Oh, wicked!
I'll send you the.
Awesome.
My brother's is mixing my vocals and then sending them across.
Okay.
I don't think
Oh,
I've even
nice.
talked about it publicly yet. But yeah,
Exclusive.
so
There you go, you get
exclusive.
exclusive
Yeah,
news.
we finished it a couple weeks ago. So my brother's just gonna mix my vocals and then his guy's gonna do it. So it's kind of like how do we do a halfway between like actual metal and hip hop?
Yeah, full
It's-
death
it-
metal.
Yeah, so it's kind of, he would describe it because he got what I would call like a beat, but it's like I think it was a finished instrumental song that his friend had made, and he compares it to like Korn, sort of sounding.
Oh, really?
So
Oh, wow.
he's doing
Yeah.
like death metal screams and a clean singing chorus, and then I'm sort of rapping in spurts throughout it, rather than like one
Yeah.
big verse. It's like it's interesting. We called it All Together, based off the other half beer. So we initially started writing it for the time with for the COVID stuff, and then all the the Black Lives Matter stuff started happening. So he rewrote his verses, and we kind of covered both because the message sort of resonated better when it was about
Everything.
social justice. Now, yeah, it's pretty dope. Stevo Wood, he says, "Hi guys, what up, bro?
Hi.
What up? Is that your mate?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you, Stevo. You tricky bastard. I was like, oh, this is pretty funny. There's like 3 Steves right here.
He can be on the bloody podcast, and then he can still be one of those mongrels in the comments.
I was
Yeah.
gonna write, how handsome is that Stevo guy?
Right? You're like, oh, he's good looking. Jeez. So as far as all the stuff recently, have you guys had to like pivot with your podcast, being that maybe you weren't able to go to breweries to interview people? I know you guys have been doing that a bit. I know you kind of balance between doing your own solo episodes and stuff, but have you had to change? Like, we've had to change literally our entire format.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done a couple over Zoom.
Okay.
We did that with Akasha Brewery from Sydney. So
Yes.
we had the Queensland rep. He was on one phone. We had that was actually just done over phone lines, not Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom wasn't going to work. So yeah, had him on one phone, their head of sales on another phone, and then their top dog on the other phone. So it was like all that in one. So we've done that. What else have we done this way?
How's that been for you?
What?
Is it a little weird?
Sorry?
Or no?
Still your headphones for like 3
Oh, hang on,
seconds.
he's gonna.
We just
do
need to
something.
plug our phone in because she's getting low, and it's just going to take our
You want my phone?
headphones off for 1 second.
Mhm.
All right, he's killing our sound.
That's all right. We got to go. We'll,
And we're back.
Yep, we're back.
oh, look at that. That was quick. That's how you do it.
Woo.
Oh yeah, man. Semi-Profesh.
Look at that.
Semi-Profesh.
You ever heard Profesh?
No, Profesh is good. Just cut them all the words down. Cut them
Yeah.
all
Why
down.
say full words?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No one's got time for that.
I think
Right?
maybe Semi-Profesh we have to write down. That should be one.
Semi-Profesh. That's a good episode name.
That might be the episode name, so we're just gonna write that one down.
I think that one can work. Here we go.
I dig it. I dig it a lot.
So you guys haven't had to change that much then? If you've only done like one or two?
No,
or?
it hasn't changed a lot. But we had that first bit of where everything was closed down. Now everything's sort of opening back up again. And yeah, we can actually go out to places. They've still got all the rules in place, but if we want, yeah, we can get out there.
Okay, that's not
actually,
so bad.
In the midst of it all, we actually did go up to Glasshouse Brewery up the sunny coast.
Okay.
Not the Goldie, but the sunny coast.
Different
There
one.
you go. Fair enough.
Sunshine Coast, Sunny Coast.
Sunshine Coast, Sunny Coast. Okay. Gotcha.
And, yeah, so we actually went there before they opened for the afternoon, and yeah, sat across the table from the three top dogs there, and yeah, that was a great afternoon, that one. But yeah, it hasn't changed a lot, really.
Okay, that's good. I just wasn't sure if you were allowed, or if you're able to, or if like maybe breweries probably weren't so comfortable with doing this type of stuff. So that's cool.
The only reason we couldn't go out was because we had that sort of lockdown when non-essential services were open. It wasn't like a massive full lockdown where we're quarantined in our homes.
It was an unsure time. It was, you know, kind of before closing or after closing, and we're still waiting to hear how many people you could have and what kind of restrictions we're supposed to have. So a few people were timid to jump into it straight away, and they just wanted to know what the go was before, they opened the doors.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
Makes sense. It makes complete sense.
Yeah, because we haven't really felt comfortable going anywhere yet. At first, it was pretty locked down because Quebec had Canada had over 100,000 cases, and Quebec had 50,000 of those cases, and then more than half of those 50,000 were just in Montreal, which is where we are. So it was pretty sketchy. Even one of our favorite breweries the other day had a COVID case over the weekend. They had to shut down for a week. Mm-hmm. Clean. All their staff had to get tests. Yeah, it's kind of sucks, man. That's why we've been very cautious about getting out there. I can't see us returning to in-person podcasts for a bit. I think I want to see it settling down. It's still a good 100 to 150 odd cases a day here, and the fact that people in Quebec, and I guess the Aussies might not know a ton about it because I didn't know jack until we moved here, but they're very, because it's a French province, they're very sort of social, and everyone doesn't really care that much.
Yeah, so social is such a big part of the culture.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So I feel because of that, it's the beauty, it's a wonderful part of it, but it's also encourages people to just not care and just kind of be a little bit too chill about things. Yeah. And I don't really trust it just yet. So
hard thing for I know Steve mentioned it to me earlier while we were out and about. It's when we go and meet people, we love shaking their hands. It's what we do.
Yeah.
So trying to refrain from doing that during this stuff, because you're supposed to bump elbows on you, do that sort of stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's how you going, mate? It's
Yeah. Well,
it's awkward.
We had some lady wanting to give us a fist bump. I was like, yeah, I don't know you. This is weird. But we got those big perspex screens up.
Yep.
At work, so I was like, I was on one side. Yeah. Say fist bump. Yeah. So through the screen.
There you go.
See, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. See, in Quebec, it's a big thing. French culture is you do the double kiss and stuff like that, right? So it's very strange now because
One of our brewer friends actually said to us, which I thought was the really best way to do it, the handshake or the kiss or whatever it might be is the beginning and the end of a conversation or an interaction with somebody. So now when you see anyone and you're standing 2 meters apart or whatever, and you're like, hey man, what's up? Or if you come close, you do the elbow bump. You don't have a formal beginning or a formal ending of an interaction, and it just feels odd. And I'm having trouble with that too. It doesn't make.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Or people are like, can I shake your hand still? I just want to shake.
Yeah, I had a couple people.
At least now people ask though. It's just so interesting. Can I shake your hand?
And then immediately I just hold it out. As soon as they go, I'm like, all right, cool. Then I just hold it out.
You hold your hand out.
Get back to
sanitizer.
I know, and it's dumb. It makes me feel stupid. But I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Right?
I don't want to ship her. I'm not trying to take any unnecessary risk, but. Hey, it is what it is. Okay, so at least you guys are able to operate as normal.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I noticed you're all wearing your merch, which I think is super important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your merch game. When did you guys start bringing in merch for the podcast and, how that's going for you?
Well,
today.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
We've actually had a shirt from the start. Talking back to the Mashed In podcast where me and Steve both hooked in, and a very well-known brew master from Australia, also called Steve, jumped into it as well. That's Hendo.
Oh, Hendo. Yeah, I know Hendo.
Yeah, he was on there as well, and they were like being taken over by Steve's. And so there was a beer fest happening in Brisbane that they were coming up to, and they're like, oh, if you just rock up wearing something on a shirt that says, I'm Steve, then we'll look after you. So
that's amazing.
Fuck it, we've gone and got I'm Steve, and we've got not Steve over here.
Nice.
All locked up, and they're like, oh shit, you actually did it. And then we started the pod, and then we've got the shirts with our faces on, which two out of three of us hate wearing.
Okay.
Mick loves wearing his own face.
Oh yeah.
So we've
I love it.
Nice.
got these ones. These ones dropped this week, so we're starting the merch campaign if people want one.
Yeah, where can people buy them?
Yeah.
Through Steve.
The merch camp's not actually that strong.
Okay. So it hasn't launched yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Steve know, and he can set it up.
There you go.
I'll get you sorted.
Okay, so hit them up, guys, if you need to get that merch. I'll just mention because I thought I noticed you did it. I thought it was super cool. We got these recently, the face
I
masks.
saw that.
Oh yeah, the mask.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
That's actually pretty dope. We stopped doing it.
Badass.
Yeah, like there's like nice little cotton stuff. It's pretty dope. A little something like kind of ridiculous since everyone's doing that shit. You might as well brand people's faces, you know.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean,
real. That one's
No, it's
pretty real.
important. The reason I just want to add, I think it's important that as podcasters, it's essentially, being that you're in a band, Steve, that you understand this stuff, but merch is an important part of what we do. People don't want to wear your, whether your face or whatever it might be, that your brand on them and rep for it. And also it's another stream of income, because I think this is why I'm always interested in talking with fellow beer media folks. This stuff is a lot of work. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of effort, and there isn't money in this stuff for quite some time. And even if there is, even for us, we've been doing this podcast for close to 5.5 years, and it's still not consistent. Like the money, it's a lot out of pocket. The podcast hosting alone is like $40 or $50 US per month to host it, not including all the other things that
And
you
back
need.
then, the traveling.
And then we were traveling a lot before.
Or if you just think about every time you go to a brewery, you Uber, you do some type of thing.
Yeah,
in order to
drive in
get
or
there.
whatever. You got to rent a car. We don't own a car, so we always have to rent a car to do stuff, so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I think it's important that people realize that how much work goes into this type of stuff. How much sort of, and particularly at first, it's 100% love. Like it's just a straight love for it. And I think
anyone can do a podcast,
Yeah,
but not
passion
anyone
project,
can
yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah.
facts. Well
Yeah.
said. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's just like, and particularly with you guys, because now you've got like 3 personalities and 3 people. I mean, do you guys sort of split the work up? Like, how does it sort of work between you guys? Usually there's
So Steve produces.
Yeah.
Steve makes a lot of the connections. Me and Mick just turn up and drink and make dicks of ourselves. So all the hard work is mostly
sounds
done by
about
Steve.
right.
Got to give him full credit.
Yeah,
I respect it.
yeah, no, yeah. I'm not a prepper. I'm a very much off the cuff kind of guy. So I won't do research. I like to have fresh look on everything. So these guys might be into all the pages and everything. I'll look at the basic stuff, but then when it comes onto the pod as a discussion, I've got fresh ears, fresh eyes. You write stuff down and you sound like a robot. I don't like that.
I'm with you.
I just love all these people that I've met, and it just makes me want to keep doing more all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's
some
all
of
it comes down to.
Yeah, do you know what, bro? I feel exactly the same. Some of the coolest people I met and some of my closest friends now from this beer thing, which was, I'm sure it sounds like kind of you guys did it for the fuck of it. I like beer. And I was like, yeah, sure. And we just kept meeting people and just kept doing it. And then all of a sudden you just end up as a part of like this global kind of community where everyone is super cool.
Yeah.
You know, we all get...
Healthy community. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing
It's very
I've
cool.
noticed is how welcoming the beer community is. Like, everyone is just so awesome, so open to talking about everything, and it's just brilliant.
I was on another interview podcast with some guys over in Pennsylvania. I think it is Brews and Heroes and Brews,
Okay.
and we started discussing a topic, and I just lost it because I was just heard these guys talk. What were we just discussing?
We're talking about meeting cool people and kind of continuing it. And you were on another podcast.
Yeah, that I didn't quite. No, they're still talking, so I can't get it. Let's move on.
No, it'll come back. No, but
It'll come back.
it'll come
It'll
back.
come back.
We'll keep shitting on it because it is cool because like that's actually like a a key part of it too. Like you're talking about the beer community being welcoming as well, and like even for us, because I make hip hop music, and the type of hip hop music wasn't so welcome in Australia, to be honest. The type of stuff that we did, because we don't rap in a strong Australian accent, and that made us move to Canada. So I was kind of like annoyed that I had to leave my home country to do something that was so important to me, and then I've realized over time how important it is and how cool it was for me to be accepted with the podcast, at least in Australia, where I'm like, there's no politics as much in that. Now we're hitting the charts here and there. We get to talk to other guys like yourselves and other breweries now, and people actually pay attention, and there's no other judgment, which I experience in hip hop. I'm like, wow, this is fucking cool, man. And
that's it. And that kind of ties it. What I forgot.
I was buying time, okay? I bought the time for you.
Yeah, perfect.
Got you, bro.
Time to remember.
Got the handball.
Got to get basically the beer community, right? There is no other business. We started discussing about any other business in any other type of industry in the world. There is no other business that would help out another business as much as what a brewery would.
I know, my goodness, it's crazy. Like just the stuff that they do where it's straight off. Yeah, that's exactly it. And when I think about like they're like, oh, so and so needed grains, so we shipped it to them when they needed grains, or this person needed hops and we had extra.
Have you ever seen Macca's give
Burger King?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's not Burger King. That's whatever.
I'll gotcha.
I know.
Not happening.
Yeah, they're like, great, good.
Right? I mean, that was actually one of the most jarring things when you first... Because every other industry, like you said, is competitive. And while beer is still competitive, there's a camaraderie that does not exist in literally anything else. So when they're like, oh, yeah, I just called up the other guys down the road. Like, yeah, I need these hops. Do you have this? Oh, hang on, I'm working with this yeast. What do you reckon? Like, how's it go?
Or you go and you like drink at a brewer's place and they actually have other beers and they're like giving you other breweries' beers and stuff like that. Or sometimes they don't even drink their own that period. They're just like, oh no, I already have it.
We've had podcasts where the brewery just refused to drink their own beer.
Yeah, they're like, I drink it all the time.
Bring a bunch of other stuff. Let's do a bottle share. Or like, I've gone to breweries many times and bumped into brewers or owners or whatever from other breweries at this other place. Like you said, you're not going to see that in a restaurant world as much or in like whatever name an industry, right?
Yeah.
So it is very cool.
Even at a Sunday market stall, you're not going to really help the other guy.
Not in that way.
So talking about Glasshouse before, how we went up there, we always go to a place not expecting anything from a brewery because we're not in it for what we can get out of it. We're in it for what we can put into it.
Right.
They basically hooked. Unfortunately for Steve, he got the short straw and was the Deso driver.
Deso.
I haven't even heard that. Deso driver, I love it.
I like that.
Deso driver.
Yeah, I like that.
No, it's Deso now.
No, it's Deso for sure.
Deso,
yeah.
I was the Devo driver.
The Devo.
I love it.
They honestly, they hooked us up all day, and then they're like, we said, we heard such and such has better pizza, and they're like, oh, okay, let's try our pizza then. We were like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. We thought they'd bring out one pizza. They brought out their entire range of pizzas for us to try. There's like 5 massive pizzas on the table, and it's like you guys are just fucking amazing. So like every chance I get, I try to get up there.
And the great Southeast Queensland pizza wars begun.
Yeah, we're trying to start a pizza war now between them and Revel.
Who's the winner so far?
We haven't done it yet. There's events coming up.
Revel, you're gonna step up now.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that.
Did you say you're having that on next week from Revel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having Maddie on next week. Yeah.
Tell me about the pizza wall we're trying to start.
I'll bring it up.
Sales rep in Brisbane
so
was,
you heard Glasshouse has the better pizzas. Let's see what happens.
Well, I
So
heard
hopefully
that.
he'll send us. Hopefully he'll send us some.
Like Matt, you can ship us up some pizza as well. It might be a little cold, but you know,
It might be a little cold, but why
we'll
not?
make it work. Yeah, we got ovens.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have pizza with that, haven't you?
we did. Yes.
So, did you guys did you have him on at Revel? Did you go to Revel and have him on?
Yeah, we went.
Yeah?
Yeah, went on site there, yeah.
How's the place there? Because he's actually sent me some of their beers, I think, last year, and their stuff I was impressed, man. Like, their stuff was good.
What did he send you? Do you remember?
Yeah, he sent the, I think one was called Strawberry Wishes. It was a strawberry Berliner. That was
Oh, yes. That is
really,
amazing.
like, that one blew my mind.
Gab's beer. Not Gab's. The beer and cider beer, yeah.
Okay, that definitely sounds familiar. There was an Imperial Stout.
I just had it last. Actually, no, that was a Riz.
Yeah, maybe it was a Russian Imperial Stout. Actually, I think that was the one.
Yeah, right.
And I think there was a non-hazy IPA, if I'm not mistaken, or a double IPA, because it was just
The
released.
Revelry? That
like
was,
at 8 or 9%.
I think it was last year. I think like January 1 or 2. Me and Steve hooked into one of them, and this is our beer for the year already. Like day 2 of the year. The rivalry is just phenomenal.
Yeah, they did really well. It was one of the at the time. I guess I wouldn't get to drink beers like that often. Like a sort of high ABV, malty West Coasty type of beer. It's usually like hazy these days and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one more. There might have been it wasn't a lager or anything. It might have been just a pale ale or something. But I was overall quite impressed, with their stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely, man. I'm like really wanted to this year when we were coming. We wanted to come up to Brisbane, to come and see you guys, to be honest. But also I want to check out Revel and. There's what are some of the other breweries in Brisbane that's fire? I know.
So many good breweries in Brisbane. Ether is right up there. Bacchus for sure.
Range, right?
Helios.
Yeah, Helios, Range most definitely.
Yeah, they're opening a second.
Yeah, in Abbotsford, in Melbourne. Yeah. Because Chris loves it.
Yeah.
Go on.
We basically have to plug every single brewery because they're all amazing up here. Like you got Soapbox, it's on his hat.
Yep.
Oh. Newstead, Green Beacon, they're owned by the multinationals now, but still make some cracking beers.
Yes, Green Beacon. I always get them confused with Ballistic because Ballistic has some good stuff
Ballistic,
too.
Yes.
Yeah, I like them a lot. They were great.
And that's just Brisbane. Then if you venture up the sunny coast, you've got the likes of Ten Toes, Your Mates, Glass House.
So is it Your Mates? Is it the name of the brewery?
Your Mates is the best.
Is Your Mates the name of the brewery?
Your Mates Brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that is amazing.
So I taught.
They're my favorite already.
I have to mention Moffat Beach Brewing as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not too.
You got to go to Your Mate's Brewery, right?
Right?
Gotta go to Your Mate's Brewery.
Your Mate.
Your Mate.
I taught. I unfortunately taught Tiff about Your Mate, like.
It's your mate, yeah.
Right. So we always have arguments about mates. I'm like, and I've taught it it become a problem. I taught it too much.
Yeah.
So now it's like everyone's mate.
Your mate.
Yes, I'm not going to say the word, but we do have the place where you call your mates a C, and people you don't like, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I wish I could say that word on this podcast now. I'm trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
You call mates C words, and you call C words mates.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I always do that. I always talk to people I don't like. I call them mate. I always do that. Yeah. Hey pal. Hey buddy.
Yeah, that's the pal. You say pal.
I guess so. Yeah.
I got bud happening. How you going, bud?
Hey bud. Yeah, they love the bud over here. They always say bud. I always find that interesting.
See, but bud is actually your friend. Your pal is not. No. Yeah.
Segway.
Oh yeah, that's legal there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Jealous.
Oh, it's not there, eh? Wow.
Yeah, I'm coming to visit you.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. They have.
Is it not legal anywhere in Australia? Like we're cross country, but let's say for example,
there's medical.
Yeah, where the politicians live in Canberra.
Yeah. Canberra's decriminalised. I think so. You can do two plants per household
Per day.
Certain amount of personal, can't have it on the street, can't sell, blah blah blah. But yeah, where the politicians are, that's where you can get the good porn and weed.
Oh, of course, porn.
And fireworks. Yeah.
That's right, but porn's online anyways.
Yeah, I know, but back in the day, you used to when you had to buy it.
Oh, when you had to actually purchase.
Back to my DVD days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I always remember that. Actually, I totally forgot that Canberra had the porn. Yes, Jesus Christ.
That's
what a time! What a time!
Well-known Australian fact.
Showing our age, boys. Showing our age.
The more you know, yeah.
Right. I didn't know about that, but basically they only made it about 2 years ago. They went legal here, I think 2018 October, and now we have it's the equivalent of a Dan Murphy's. So you walk up to the store. This is in Quebec at least anyway. It's called the SQDC. I have some for the French long name. And you just kind of rock up. You just got to show your ID, and they sell. So gross.
Is that a fly?
It's a fly. I thought it was something else. I thought it was just like a bit of dust. Ew. You have to. You can buy everything. Like they have bud. I think they have different concentrates. I don't smoke, so I get oils. They have sprays, which are pretty dope. No pun intended. And so edibles are legal, but you can't purchase like gummies and stuff from these stores. I don't know why. So I think they're figuring that out. So you have to order them online from British Columbia. So that's where Vancouver is, the province out
west. They have this weird thing with the edibles where they think people aren't smart enough to keep them from their children.
Yeah, which is
so they keep saying, that's just the whole. That's the main
shape
issue.
it like a gummy bear.
Yeah, so shape it like a gummy bear and put it in a colourful packet. And
that's like vapes here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
but a kid's more likely to pick up and chew on a gummy bear than suck on a vape.
Much more likely.
Accidentally.
But it's like, wouldn't the parents, like, wherever
It's
you
like
keep
you
your bud,
be smart and, like,
put your gummies in the same place you keep your bud, which is probably some airtight container at the top of your cupboard or something, like, so it's...
Yeah, but once you've had 2 gummy bears, you kind of forget. Your long-term memory's kind of a little bit scratched.
You might just leave them out. You're like, yeah, fuck. You know, have one too.
Yeah.
Hey, little Johnny.
Yeah,
have one.
no.
But it's not.
I
It's
can see
definitely.
where they're going with that.
Yeah, I get it too, but I think they have to also treat people like adults.
Like
and,
adults, yeah.
Give
just let them
people
make adult decisions.
a chance to make that right call. It's,
Yeah.
it's not that serious,
It
but
would be good if the general adult was an adult. That would
Well,
be fantastic.
as we've seen with
Yeah.
COVID. Oh yeah, thank you. I still wash my hands.
Yeah.
With I've seen with COVID, not everybody knows how to behave or wash their fucking hands.
True.
Or,
Yeah.
wear a mask.
Don't they have like do not eat on concert tickets and shit like that for the average Joe?
I haven't. Do you know what? In America, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that on The Simpsons. Yeah.
I just would not be surprised in any shape or form, though, because the States is is a whole other beast. Their stuff is completely. Canada's more like Australia.
Give us one quick sec, man.
Yeah.
I think we're down to about 7% on this phone because my charging apparatus, for some reason, comes up. It does a slow charge when it's on.
Can we change phones?
Yeah, can we just can we end up changing phones, which will end up being another call then, right?
It will cut
I
this.
get the live up and we can just switch it and plug this in and plug that. Oh, I don't have
It's
audio.
recording.
I don't have audio cable on my phone because it's all through the. Sorry for technical glitches.
No worries. I haven't done it
all my
before.
audio's through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
Yeah, no,
we could give it a crack. I've never done it before, but I imagine it's just like a call back, and it would just pop right back in. So we could give it a
just
try.
restart,
I don't mind.
Yeah. So we can give it a crack.
It wouldn't stop
Because we're
the.
down if we're gonna keep going.
It wouldn't stop the live feed. Yeah, we got one more beer. We'll probably go for another like 20, 30 tops, I'd say.
Oh, okay. That's another thing. My phone doesn't do that view, man.
I don't do. I haven't got audio. My audio's through the charger plug.
Stupid
I
Samsung.
know, right?
All right,
There's
bloody
always traffic.
Samsung.
Hey, while they're sorting this out, I was looking up the other day, possibly doing a beer trade, but we're not. It's illegal to send beer to Canada, apparently.
Illegal, yes. Possible, absolutely. I just ordered.
Yeah, right.
I won't say who, but I just
Samples?
I've got another charger.
T-shirt and glassware. I just ordered
Okay.
I actually purchased a hoodie from my favorite brewery in Melbourne. I don't want to call them out, and he snuck a can in the hoodie. It made it. Matt, I gotta say, Matt sent me beer from Revel. Mr. Banks sent me beer before. We could do it. The only thing is, it's for 4 beers. It cost them $55 to send it. That's the problem.
Okay, yep.
It's
Yeah.
extraordinarily expensive. That's the only downside. So it would be a very, very expensive 6-pack or 4-pack or whatever it might be, you know. So yeah, we can chat.
Yeah, right.
We can chat.
I just realised I've got a laptop here we could probably set up on quickly, but it disappeared.
Yeah, the laptop could probably work. We haven't, like I said, we just haven't done it before. Like if the phone.
Yeah, I'm very technologically challenged. Right?
The phone's about to die that they're on, and if they hang up from that phone, it's going to cut off the Skype call, which means I guess they could just call back in, and it will just pick it back up in the software. We just haven't experienced it before. I'm sure it's not that not that crazy. Alternatively, we could just wrap up the podcast part here just to keep it simple, so you don't have to try and figure it out. Maybe.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, that's true because we got one whole beer ready to go.
Is that all you've got left?
No, we've got a house full of beer, but I had one on specifically planned. So we're drinking. We're slow sippers, bro. So slow sippers.
Laptop, Steve.
So they moved from
Sorry, Steve's back in.
Phone to a laptop. Yeah, because when I called the
So
Skype,
what we might do, I'll get him to log in on the laptop while we've still got the phone going.
Yep.
And then if he can log into our call and then plug straight into the whatever.
Oh yeah, actually that'd probably be like super real
that
quick.
way it should be seamless, maybe kind of.
I'd like to see.
Professionally.
You know what, guys? This is Semi-Profesh is the name of the
Semi-Profesh,
episode.
okay?
Semi-Profesh.
Semi-professional.
We never said we were profesh. We said we were
Amateurish at best.
Good, like it's gonna say like Semi-Profesh with the Sunday Sesh. I feel
Yeah, it kind of rhymes.
Yeah.
It kind of works well.
love
Look
it.
at that.
Right?
Look at that.
Look at
I
that.
love it. I love it.
It's glorious right there. I love it. How's the the Aussie winter treating you guys? Being that you're in Queensland, your
With that
shit
place
is...
with the sun in the background, where
Yeah.
there's just like a bunch of lighthouses.
Yeah. Man, it's not like winter at all. Like it cools down at night, but it's not. It's nothing. It's
What do you get?
shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, fuck your life, bro. Fuck your life.
But in saying that, 2 days ago, Tasmania had minus 13 degrees, which, I don't know, like Fahrenheit,
Wow.
that's something.
No, that's America.
No, we're the same.
We're
Okay.
yeah, we're the same.
Yeah.
That's
Are you normal? Yeah.
We're normal. That is crazy. Minus 13?
Yeah.
Like, Tassie's far
it's
down,
ridiculous.
but yeah, that's too
Hey,
much.
Mickey,
Yo.
jump on. Jump on and have a chat. I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to make a phone call because it's my daughter's laptop and I don't know the password to crack into it.
No worries.
Actually, locked you
It's
out.
gone from semi-profesh to semi-amateurish.
Yeah, this has gone great.
Hey, at least we're keeping it going. We've never, like I said, we've never done this before with changing it over. But if you log into the Lappy and switch it right over, it should be pretty like boom boom. It should be.
Show us.
Yeah, hang on. For what charger? Use the charger that came with your phone. Yeah, it's fast charger. You need to use the official charger. That's why.
Hey, Itzy,
That's why it's going slow.
what is your
I didn't
password
realize
for
this
your
was a
laptop?
phone. Looks great.
Yeah, it's actually pretty clean. It
I
didn't.
thought it was a
like,
webcam all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, no, this is
What's that for?
Samsung 9
John's
Plus.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9
Oh yeah,
Plus.
they have superior cameras.
yeah,
So it was
we're
fine.
Yeah,
we're Team Apple, but
we're Team Apple, but like
the Samsung cameras
Yeah.
are always superior. They've always been better.
I haven't taken a bite out of the Apple.
I haven't done it. We used to work for
We
them,
used to
so
work there, so yeah, it's how we met.
you
so.
once you're converted, you're in that cult, mate. You can't get
Yeah,
out.
you can't get out.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, see, back in the day, the problem was they wouldn't talk to anything else, and I just had brand of everything. I wasn't brand orientated, so I couldn't get one device and then it'd work with everything else I had.
Right.
So that's the only reason I didn't kind of switch to it. And then my Mick the Middleman import business, when iPhones first came out, the iPhone 4s, so I was doing imports of the not the fake, but basically the knockoffs of the iPhones and the MP3s and all that kind of stuff, selling on the markets and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that
Is
was
that like the fake iPods when they were coming out and stuff like that?
Yes.
Like the yes. So that's cool. Like the
Correct.
middleman. Okay, I like that. So you were just like
Yeah.
getting stuff from overseas and like bringing it over type thing. Okay,
I
cool.
was basically, I didn't, okay, I can never decide what avenue I want to do, if it's a business, a hobby, or anything really. So Mick the Middleman was so open, I didn't have to be one genre or one style or something like that. So, Mick the Middleman was kind of anything. And the middleman for the everyman, deal in the middle because it costs so little.
I call him level because he's the bubbles in the middle.
that's a very good trading joke.
Block your
Trading
ears,
joke.
folks.
What's my account password?
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
the password.
No worries.
Yeah, you jump on that. Let me go get it. 'cause
Oh, they're fixing
probably-
that. There we go.
Yes.
Look at this.
Total adventure
Is
hour.
that right?
I'm
Nah,
back.
you're good, mate. You're good.
So your comment before about the hype beers made me get one of my hype beers out. So I'm on the range small history.
Yes, so tell us about Range, because I feel like maybe the folks out here who are sort of into like the haze and what's going on, they want to know what's happening in Australia. Like Range, I believe, and Mr. Banks are like the two big ones.
Yeah, so Mr. Banks out of Melbourne, Range out of Brisbane. They do a lot of small batch beers, and lately they've been pumping out some fantastic hazy beers. It's all the rage at the moment over here. I'm
Love
guessing it's everywhere now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The last probably month, they do beer releases on Friday, and so 12 o'clock they release it. By 5 past, it's sold out.
Right.
Wow.
But yeah, we're pretty lucky to have a couple of cans here for us today. And yeah, they're just sensational beers.
I love it. How would you compare them to the Mr. Banks or the haze?
See, I haven't been able to get a hold of the Mr. Banks Hazies as yet. I have got one today, though.
Nice.
But Mr. Banks are right up there with one of my favourite Aussie breweries. Their West Coast IPA. There was a sour they did. I can't remember what it was called, but it was another little great one.
Was that the Parfait? They had the Parfait series, Raspberry Parfait, and I think they had, was another one.
No, it was another one. It had I'm sure it had like a cartoonish sort of label on it.
Okay.
I don't think strawberry. It might have been raspberry. There was so many beers ago, I can't remember.
Of course, right? It's hard to keep
That's
up.
why keep all my cans. Like, oh yeah, I have had that one before.
Do you guys?
Yeah,
do you
Untapped comes in handy.
I was about to ask. Do you guys use Untapped? Is that like a thing down there as much?
I don't.
It was massive about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Year and a half, 2 years ago. It was really strong, but I don't know. It's kind of dropped off a little bit. I can feel in the last 8 months. Steve's very much onto that. The Untapped Steve, you've kind of dropped off that a bit.
Tech Guru Steve, he's got his own spreadsheet with his own scoring.
That's right, because you did your own stuff. So. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like what you did.
Yeah, I used to have a spreadsheet before Untapped, and I just found that it was too hard to keep manually updating it.
Spreadsheets.
So, but it was like there was no other way to keep track.
Stat nerd, so.
Yeah, I'm not a stat nerd. I was just practical. I needed to keep track of my beers, and now Untapped is a nice way to know if I've had it. And generally, if I've had it, I've reviewed it, so whatever. But it's, a lot of people, we've had a lot of talk. A lot of people will get mad at it because a lot of people will go be like, too bitter, 1. I don't like bitter beers or whatever. Or I don't like sours, 1 star. And they'll go and ruin a brewery's rating for a specific beer.
See, that's them trying a style they don't like and go,
And also, sometimes it's about the beer or whatever you've had before you have that beer that changes as well.
Yeah.
I just the other night, I had a raspberry IPA that when I first had it, didn't enjoy it because it was my first beer of the night. But last night I had it after a West Coast IPA, and it was actually really good because the West Coast was so full on. It made the raspberry just a little bit less full on, and it was a lot easier to drink. So that's a massive thing. You gotta know what you're drinking and how you're drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And be considerate of that. That's why we said, like, you shouldn't... One of our recommendations to Untapped was that you shouldn't be able to rate a beer as, like, a 1 unless you have a thorough explanation as to why it's a 1.
It should be a minimum number of characters.
Like 500 characters or something.
Yeah, or
like
that.
Like Uber, you're not allowed to just rate 1 and leave. It becomes a thing, a process after you do that. Because, people are like, 1, hate IPAs.
Yeah.
Or 1, it was closed.
Yeah. And, like I've had brewers tell us that people come to the bar and order beers. They go, oh, hang on a sec, let me check. I don't drink anything under 4 stars, and they'll go and check that. Like full on like Untapped dickheads. I don't know if that's big down there, which I hope it's not. But I think
it obviously would be. But we don't just associate too much.
Yeah,
with
same.
That full on.
The 3 of us have completely different palates towards our beers. Like Steve loves his stouts. I like the sweeter style of stouts if I have one.
I'm a juice bomb guy.
He's juicy and malty. I like my sours. Mick's not a sour fan. So it's like, Mick could taste one and go, ooh, yuck, no. I could taste it and it's like beautiful, yum, sour or saison. And it's, and we sort of, that's taught us that instead of like slamming a beer, appreciate it for what it is or what they're trying to do. And like, mate, if it is bad, like a bad beer, then there's like for the style, then you could probably say something. But if it's just because you don't like the style and you didn't enjoy it, but the beer is like ticks all the right boxes for it, then
I agree. Yeah, that's what I do.
A lot of times you just end up saying, I might have to try this on tap, or I might have to try this a bit fresher, or
or like you said, you got to be in the mood for it. That's a really, really big thing. It's all about the setting, where you're at, where your headspace is, what you just drank before it, what you're planning to drink next. And I feel like
bad company is going to make any beer taste bad.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I feel like at this point, for all of us who have drank as many beers as people like us probably have, we know when a beer is well made. Now, if we don't like it, like if you hate smoked beers, like the Rauch beers or something, I don't really like them. But you can drink it and you'd be like, I can tell this is a good, well made beer, arguably to style. Yeah. It's not for me, but.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I feel like that's what a lot of people don't acknowledge or recognize, and that type of attitude is what ruins something like Untapped, which is actually a very helpful, useful resource. It's free focus groups for breweries.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of elements in that people they're missing out on if people just discount it completely and just like fuck Untapped because of a few wankers ruining it, which is it's unfortunate because.
That's it. Once they put just their own feelings into their score, it just ruins the overall score for that beer and brewery.
Yeah,
I think that's the main reason I don't use things like Untapped. And there's a Facebook group over here that they've got their own version of that of Untapped. But I don't use it because I like making my own opinions up of beers. So it's like, listening
Yeah.
to everyone, like, if they're slamming it, it's like, oh, you know what, I'll try it for myself and see.
And that's the thing, it influences what you think for sure. There's no way that you can read a bunch of things and then drink a beer and not be influenced somehow by what people say.
Yeah.
I often look to Untappd because someone said that to me as well. Like, don't you look at it and doesn't it, like, if you see a beer that's already rated 4.5 or something average, you're going to be like, oh, this is great, even if it's not. But I don't even look at that. What I check for, like, I use it when I'm drinking, so I'm about to write about it. I review almost like the beers I've got other ones of these beers, so I'm going to review them later. But I'll look at it, and if the can doesn't say which hops they use, which unfortunately happens way too often, I go through Untappd because sometimes the people who drank it in a brew pub will be like, hey, this has got Simcoe Mosaic, this is great. I'm like, boom, the brewery didn't tell me, but someone on Untappd did.
Yeah.
And I find it really helpful for things like that. I find that happens quite a lot where I'm able to get some real beneficial information, but I don't really... Maybe because I don't give a shit. Oh, is that another call coming from... Hang on a sec. Let's see what happens here. Oh, what happened? This is like a Skype situation. Steve,
maybe that's what the transfer looks like because it's frozen there.
Oh, this is frozen. Okay.
So maybe that's what happens when a new call comes.
So we'll just go back to... Oh, but I'm not even connected on Skype at all. Just reconnected.
Can you drop the guest or something?
Forgot that. Oh, well.
Call ended. Perfect.
All right. So we're going to get him to call back in a sec, guys. This is all new for us, so please...
Hey,
there we go. Hey, I don't know if you guys can even hear this, so on the live. Let's see if this works.
Oh, the battery's
all right. I can see you, but I can't see...
There you go.
Look at that.
Sorry, it's...
Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Look at that. Hey, that was actually not too bad.
Seamless. That was pretty good. Like, as in, like, yeah, it took us to...
There you go.
It's in the way, Mickey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the setup was. I see.
Stevo's not giving you sneaky nuts here.
Is it really funny that he's getting... Hey, it's just a little bit. Just a little bit. Is that funny that the phone is better?
A little peek.
It's so funny. The phone is actually like better quality than a laptop. I'm so surprised.
Yeah. The phone's got a good quality.
I'm not surprised. This Samsung still has it.
I'm just gonna wash the bug off my finger.
Oh, ew, that's gross.
Yeah, because I swatched the bug.
Oh, because you thought it was
I thought it was a thing. It's gross to me.
Yeah.
And then we'll crack this beer.
I would definitely say that's gross.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to see the audio.
So don't get that going.
I can play this thing, can't I?
Did you say the audio's okay still?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Are we still here?
We are still testing.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh no, that's not coming through there now.
While they're sorting that out, I'm going to grab a beer. Actually. Whoop. Need a beer?
Okay, cool.
Still on me squid thing.
The title's going to be so appropriate.
Yeah. It'll be great. No, this is it keeps it entertaining. You know, it keeps it interesting. They get to see the behind the scenes.
I got the next topic in line.
Yeah, I think Craig paid $8 or $9 for a box of those the other day.
What?
Yeah, but because like you can't get them apparently. So there's this Aussie pie shop below us. It was so convenient in the end that happened. Honestly, it was just the best pies. Even when I went to Australia, I don't feel like I had pies as good as those pies, but. But yeah, they're from like an Aussie couple, and she's selling the shapes in there now, and it's like $8 or $9. But I guess it has to come over shipping and all those costs, right? Worth it. And Vegemite's where we buy Vegemite from now.
Well, I think they are 2 for $5.
2 for $5. So you want to do
2 for $5. We get 2 for $21.
2 for $21. Sorry, there you go.
And it's the little guys.
You know what? How does it feel paying that much for that when we've got to pay that for beer?
Well, that's true.
Hey, that's the one thing. When we were in Australia, I couldn't believe the cost of the beers.
Beer's so expensive.
It's shocking.
And then there's a different size too. It's like the pot size, and then it's.
He's getting the shapes out. I waved it in front of his face too much. I got a cabana and cheese and Twiggy sticks and.
You got cabana and you can't get cabana here really, eh?
Are you really?
Yeah, it's like really, really hard to find.
There's a place in Toronto that we get it from.
Yeah, but it's not like super common, and it kills me. Stop it! You're rubbing it. You got barbecue shapes and cabana. Get out of my face.
So what do you do as a platter? Or is it a little bit more of
have more like a
pesto or something?
Yeah, like Italian meats. And,
it's like all Mediterranean type stuff.
We're not fancy like that.
What are you drinking?
Just a cabana.
We just busted out this one here. This is something we've never had before. It's an India wheat ale.
One sec.
From Spearhead in Kingston, Ontario. I didn't really know because it's kind of like a multi. I thought it'd be like a New England style. It's kind of like a multi West Coast IPA with not super piney though. With, I think it uses it must use the Hefeweizen yeast, so it's got banana kind of vibes in it in a multi IPA.
The farmhouse kind of flavour.
Sort of. It's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not huge on it. Oh, actually, it says it's got mango puree in there as well, and lemon drop and warrior hops.
I taste the lemon for sure.
Yeah.
Lemon drops are hot though.
Damn.
Hey, does this still work, by the way, guys? Is everything cool with the...
Yeah, the audio is great. The video is super dark, but it's fine.
Yeah, cool.
It does the trick. It does the trick.
Samsung.
Yeah. Yes, what do you got? Bearded Seal, who's that from?
Hop Nation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sick.
Footscray.
Yeah, that was one of my Christmas juice bombs. That's a nice one, that one.
Yeah, what?
Oh, nice. It is quite orange juicy.
Oh, love it. Whoa, shit. Love it. I love that you guys can get so much Melbourne beer in Queensland.
Yeah, there's a lot of Melbourne stuff here.
What's up with that? Why are the Melbourne breweries distro in Queensland so much?
I think they're just a little ahead of the curve.
Okay.
I mean, I think the rest of the country's pretty well catching up, but there was a lot more going on there before here, sort of thing.
Okay.
Oh, so is it not easy to get beers in Melbourne? It's not easy to get beers from Brisbane, for example?
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would be as easy to get smaller Queensland breweries beers in Melbourne as it is to get almost everything from Melbourne here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
We've also got a really good distribution company in Queensland called Caliber Craft Beer Trading Co. that brings a lot of beers from all over the country to Brisbane, which is phenomenal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they got Mr. Banks under him, don't they?
Yeah, Mr. Banks and Deeds are two of their beers. Yeah, that's
okay. I know that. Yeah, Chris was saying that his main other market was Brisbane or Queensland in general.
That means the laws are just treating you guys better for sure. Like our laws make that not very easy.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got some crazy laws, right?
Yeah, basically like for each province their own. Like everyone just by yourself and do your own thing. You can only get beer from your province for the most part.
Yeah, so like in Quebec, if we go to buy any beers here, they have to, like, it's 98% from Quebec, and they have to get, there's only a few breweries who are like ones that arguably have money, like all the ones that came in pretty much got banked. There's a couple from Ontario, one from New Brunswick I'm a big fan of, called Trailway. And aside from that, there isn't too many. There's like, Canada's such a strange place the way that it works. Australia works more like the States. They have the thing in Quebec called the SAQ, and there's the LCBO in Ontario, and that's the biggest purchaser of alcohol in the world. So the SAQ is the Quebec version, and you can get some beers. I know one of the dudes who's an importer, and he got in La Sirène from Melbourne.
Yeah.
So they had that in there. And he hit me up asking me about getting Banks, and then Chris was kind of interested, but I don't think he can spare the inventory right now, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not as simple for us to do that, so it's very cool that you guys are able to get stuff from everywhere based on all that. All of that, putting the blankie up there.
Let's take out the backlight.
That's a little better.
Bit better, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Semi-Profesh.
Yeah. See, all the year, no idea.
I love it. No, it's great. No, it's cool that you guys can do that. Do you guys get down to Melbourne, or do you guys travel at all for beer, or is it pretty much keep it local?
We were meant to go down in May. It was going to Gabs, one of our biggest beer festivals, going to coincide with my 40th birthday.
Nice.
But that dirty stinking COVID ruined that for us. So
of course, right?
That dirty stinking COVID.
Missed out going down this year.
Very sad.
Yes.
So we're sticking to Southeast Queensland. Next month we got Mick and I's joint birthdays. We're doing a crawl up the coast. Which
Nice.
Is
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you guys hitting up? Just a bunch of breweries for a few days?
Got a whole tour going, yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing your mates, of course, because that's what you do now.
Got to go see your mate. Moffat Beach for sure.
Moffat Beach.
About 6 times.
Yeah, for about 6 times.
Yeah.
If you can ever get any of their stuff there,
Yeah.
seriously, like they're probably Australia's most awarded brewery now, I would say.
What's it called?
Moffat Beach Brewing Co.
Moffat Beach. I haven't even heard of it.
everything they do is just ridiculous. Like their oatmeal stout is like one of the best oatmeal stouts I've ever had. Their pale ale is one of the best pale ales I've ever had. You know, like just everything they do is banging. What else? What else?
What else are we doing?
Fucking Black Flag.
Black Flag. How have we not spoken about Black Flag yet?
The Legends of Black Flag.
Yeah.
Named after the punk band, or other?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
New little brewery popped up on the sunny coast. They're absolute legends.
Yes.
Yeah. Very punk orientated. So very like their branding.
Works for us.
That's dope. That's cool that you can do that, because I feel like I don't know how possible that would be here with the
yeah, we're just not in the same place that you guys are. So in terms of COVID cases, so yeah, that's kind of like. Yeah. I just kind of called the year a wrap, and you just look at 2021 for.
Yeah, if I was going anywhere, I can't imagine even going anywhere.
Also, because we have real winters, so like the fact that all of this plays out into summer, it's like by the time you hit winter, you don't want to go outside anyway. So it's just call it a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because we had a bunch of plans. There's a bunch of places we wanted to go this summer that we didn't get to go. We normally would go to Toronto like once a month, and we haven't been since February. Yeah, which sucks. So luckily for us, we do get a lot of beer mail, and most of our audience is in Ontario. So usually between Ontario and Quebec, and then Vermont and California and stuff, and now I've been in Australia, luckily. But we get a decent amount of beer mail because right now, unless it's being sent to me, like I don't really get hold of it. So because we have, I guess with you guys, you got the podcast where we have like the video side. We, of course, the podcast, we got all the social. So we do a lot of videos and photos and stuff of beer. So breweries want their stuff reviewed. So I'm fortunate that we get to drink a bunch of stuff from other places. But one thing that has been interesting during COVID is that when this first started, I was like, finally, I'm going to be able to get my hands on some of the more hype beers a little easier. And I feel like it's been 10 times harder. I feel like because, like you guys mentioned with Range, selling out in 5 minutes, same deal here with there's one of my favorite brewery in Montreal, it's called Masora and Brassatorium, and they sell out now. They had their first anniversary last weekend. I was there at 6 p.m. ready to order. I was fucking around a little bit and I went to 6:05, and every single thing I had in my cart was sold out. I think I would have had to check out at like 6:01.
That's what's been happening with Range, yeah.
Crazy, huh? But I find it interesting that like a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were, on the government benefits. Pretty. It sucked for a lot of people, right? People got really screwed by this. I was like, all right, well, look, obviously people need to drink, but do people need to? Do they need to buy hype haze and the hype beers that you have to either line up for or go online for? And the answer was, of course they do, but 10 times more people now. I guess before it was just whoever went there to line up, and a lot of people weren't bothering to go and line up. But if all you have to do is go on your computer and you buy the stuff and you just rock up at the time they tell you to pick it up, then it's easier. So it's interesting to me how difficult it's been to get fire beer.
Yeah.
After this, there's a lot more cash on the street at the moment, here at least. Mm-hmm. But retail stores are sold out of everything, and it's not just because we get it all from China and it then distro's harder. I mean, I work at where I work. I don't want to go there. And we're having records like, we've set records month on month during COVID for sales.
Yeah.
See, I'm the same at a bottle-o. We're doing like Christmas weeks every week since early March. It's
for real.
It's not just booze though. It's everything.
Yeah. I do online NBA card breaks, and they're selling out in 5 hours. They used to take a day or two to sell out. So
a lot of time, a lot of money.
Yeah, so many people have got more time. They're in front of the computer.
As much as we love to hate ScoMo, this bloody ScoMo dough is keeping the people spending, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So that's Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia, in case people didn't know.
ScoMo. Okay.
ScoMo. Just
like,
a bit.
What is that? Okay.
Yes.
And the dough in and out.
What's the dough?
Oh, yeah.
What's the dough part?
He's keeping the dole with the dough,
Right.
Because they've doubled their payments.
The dole is the welfare system for people.
He knows what that means.
Everyone knows.
Universal.
Yeah, that's universal. But just being like what dole is. Dole is the welfare system, because I don't think
Dole is the welfare system.
They call it that in the UK, but not in Canada.
Oh yeah.
Or the US.
Well, the government hands out. He's giving money there.
Government support.
Right, he's giving people damn money. Okay, interesting. No, that's
you get a handout. Everyone gets a handout.
He's basically Oprah. He's an Oprah of politics.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I just really thought the one thing that wouldn't, like, if you guys are saying that all industries are seeing it, I guess, like, even to be fair, I feel like I'm buying more things online, but I think it's because people aren't spending money elsewhere on things like travel. Like, we traveled a lot, so I never bought stuff. I never bought shit. Like, I didn't care. I never bought shoes or clothes or nothing like that. And I found now I bought more clothes and shoes and things like that. Now I got nowhere to wear them.
Yeah.
And
You keep buying things too.
I keep buying things. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Like, now, because like, they keep having all these deals. I'm like, fuck, what are we going to do?
They're on sale. Yeah.
Trying to drip out here. You know?
Yeah.
If postage, if I get 50, okay, I'll get 2 more shirts.
Right? Why not? So it's just an interesting phenomenon that's happened. I think it's extra interesting with beer because it was the one industry that you would argue is the least important, but it's still a community hub. It's still something that people want to be around after all this is wrapped up.
Yeah.
And I guess people initially wanted to drown their sorrows when things were really bad. I know back over there, it's, you guys are going back through it again. But yeah, the one thing that has been consistent is people have been drinking, and probably they're not spending money on certain other things. Maybe if they had to drive now, they're not spending money on parking or not spending as much money on petrol or whatever.
It builds up, and if you've got an extra $120 in your pocket because you didn't have to buy that coffee every day or pay that $7 parking.
Great point, right?
I think it is. It's largely the hospo things that are suffering, which is where we need to keep
hospitality.
Yeah,
and now like the hospitals are suffering. Well, I guess because of the hospital.
Yeah. If you put closed caption on this one, I want to give it a really good challenge.
I don't think it'd do too well.
That'd be amazing. That'd actually be hilarious.
I had a mate, one of my good friends in Melbourne's he's a partner in an advertising firm, so he's super funny. He's really good with writing and stuff. So he was saying that that people call it ISO if you're in isolation, like when you that was a thing. So he was joking. He's like, we should call it Quaro for quarantine.
Quaro.
And I was like, yeah, Quaro, mate. Like, I love it.
Yeah. That's one that you're going to have to incorporate the R and drag out the O. It's the only way it'll work.
Yeah, no. Quaro. Yeah, you're right? It can't be good. Do you know what's super hilarious? Tiff's cousin.
Can we do something? He's a Kiwi anyway.
Yeah.
Can we what?
Got to go back over the ditch.
I'm an import.
Yeah, we need a Kiwi to balance it out. Tiff's cousin Dan, he's just sitting right here. He just moved here from the UK. So the other night he was like, "Yo, have you heard of the Big Les show, the Aussie one?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard of it. We hadn't watched it. We put it on. We just let it sit for hours, and I hadn't fucking laughed that hard in a while. Like the way these guys were talking, there's something.
It's so funny. It's so good.
There's something about like the Australian sense of humor and the way of talking.
Guy, like, just like,
it's incredible.
Just the soft
and just the way people talk it. You don't appreciate the Australian because I'm not there around it every day.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, and I even feel I'm hearing myself talk right now. My accent is stronger because I'm talking to you guys. Like, it's funny. I talk to other Aussies, the accent turns on a bit, and the sense of humor makes me laugh. It's the funniest shit on the planet. Like, there's nothing fucking funnier, and it took being away to appreciate just how funny it is.
But like, they're not joking.
I'm the same. I moved from New Zealand when I was like 5.
Oh, you're the Kiwi. Okay.
When I was 13, and
I
started getting like
you said
2.5 weeks over.
Oh,
I started getting the accent back.
Right. So you get that. It's 13.
You mean 30?
13.
Yeah, you said 13. That's inappropriate here.
It's 13. Right?
13.
Yeah,
13.
13, 32.
Yeah.
If you're an Aussie, you'll
You
know
know what that is. Do you know what's funny? That's actually a phone number for something else. I forgot what it was. They changed it. I think I went to call it, and it was something that advertised. Maybe it was Vodafone or something. When I went back last, I was like, what the fuck? You took 13, 32. Like, how did you do that?
What was it originally?
Lubemobile. And they had a kid on the app.
That's a crime.
Lubemobile is a mobile... What is it? Like a...
It's Lubemobile. We'll fix your car.
A van that drives you around
like
and
lube
fixes
my
your car.
automobile,
L-U-B-E.
like L-U-B-E. Okay, Mr.
And
Lube.
they had an ad,
I
and
was
there
thinking
was a
something
song.
else completely. Okay.
And there was a little kid who couldn't talk properly at the end, saying your number.
Okay.
Brought to you when needed.
Yeah, and it was from like the 90s. It was really funny, so I'm glad you brought that up, because it's one of my favorite shits ever. So it was just when someone else stole their phone number, it disgusted me to my core. To my core, fellas. It's not right, goddammit. We need to get fucking ScoMo on that.
Yeah.
Yes. That should be something you'd be focusing on.
Right?
Look, I've been restrained. Actually, speaking of, I'm going to go get one of those.
Nah, do it, mate. Do it.
No, I've got something. Another big can. I'll go get that anyway.
Break it out. I was gonna say, what do you? Oh, you on the banks? Oh, talk to us about the banks, there, mate. Show us what's going on. Give us a look at the beer. Oh yes, look at that, Chris. Love it.
Well done, Mr. Farmer.
How is she?
It is lovely. You know what though? This is controversial. I think this bad boy has it covered.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
So hang on.
Which one? Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Which one's
The
juicier?
bearded seal had the bigger body and everything.
Yeah.
Which is what I
More
love.
bitter with the bearded seal, though. Yeah.
No, I think
Really?
this is a little bit bitter, but it only is 8.6%.
I'm gonna go get my one then.
I think it's the cryo. Cryo always does that.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
cryo definitely gives it a bit of a. I guess it's supposed to take away the vegetal. It definitely brings in a lot more of the. What do you call it? Like, there is something that it does differently. I don't know if it's bitterness though. I guess it depends which hops they were.
There's a little sharp snap off at the back. It's almost.
Is it hop burn?
As opposed to, I don't know, like a lot of the big juicy Nipa type things. You know, you have a sip and you're quite quenched, whereas
Right.
this is a little moreish.
So the dryness I find is quite common, at least out here. And when I first tried, I remember there's a brewery called The Mill in Melbourne, and we did a podcast with them, and they had a beer called I Can't Believe It's Not Juice.
So good, that beer.
Yeah, it was great. It was one of the first ones I tried there. When we did the podcast with him, he was like, all right, he's like looking at me while I'm drinking it too, and he was like, all right, what do you reckon? And I was like, yeah, no, it's got that chalky dry. He's like, okay, because he didn't know what it was. And
yeah, right.
I keep saying chalky, and a lot of people have questioned me on it because they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But there's this dryness that comes, and I imagine it's from the hops in New England that I find is quite common, at least over here, because you can get the real sweetness. The ones that are just overly sweet the whole way through, which that means they've probably got a stronger malt profile.
Mm-hmm.
But I find when you dial that back a bit and you have the hops, it has this like when you have like I was trying to think of an example where there's this thing here called Tums. It's like the antacid tablets. Those little tablets that like melt in your mouth, kind of like a vitamin C that leaves a chalky residue. It's got that vibe. So anyway, I find that a lot with the New England. So I think Chris, the stuff I've brought him and the stuff I think he's trying to emulate is that style.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Trillium.
Yeah, like the Trillium, exactly, because that was the stuff. I brought him some other half, and he'd had Trillium before, so I think he was trying to go that vibe. I know he was probably the first guy to rock with the oat cream, which is the other half thing, and I brought him a.
Everyone's trying to use that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Chris started it in Australia. I want to take credit for it because I brought him another half, an oat cream other half, and he had never seen it before. So I think he did his first one after that, and I think it caught on for after that. And I love the Aussie brew because people here don't even do it. So I think it's sick that I've seen there's one brewery in Montreal that does it, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. So
yeah, okay. Every time anybody does an oat cream beer here, it sells out in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
of course,
beautiful. They usually just with a touch of lactose, just like it's a New England IPA, just with a touch, and I think that's super fire.
I think the next beer we have will probably be an oat cream, actually, that range one.
Yeah, well, we've all got one of these in the glass now.
What is that? What do you got, Mick?
The same one that Steve's
the
on.
Banks?
Oh, yeah, we're all this.
Oh, rocking the Banks?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes me very happy.
I didn't have one, so Steve-O gave me half of his, legend.
What a bloke, eh? What a bloke.
I know. That's the good thing about these podcasts. Like things get messy, but things get friendly.
Right?
We share because we care.
Right? I think that's one thing about beer.
Yeah, it gets like that.
I do like that people in beer always want to make sure everyone's drinking. Everyone wants to make sure that everyone's got their stuff. So, cheers, bloke. Get in here.
Hey,
get it up, yeah.
Get a dog up, yeah. Oh, Australia. What else were we going to cover? I had a couple notes down. Is there anything else you guys want to make sure that we got into this evening or today?
Yeah, now.
No, it's supposed to be us as the guests, but
right.
I've never actually got to speak to you guys before.
No, never.
And
pretty
curious. Like you got some wicked photos of some of your gigs and stuff. Like, how big are those audiences you're playing to there?
Back in the day, the biggest ones were probably nothing crazy, like 300-400 probably.
Okay.
When we do the opening sets, we had some pretty sick crowds. So we opened for, I'm not sure how big in hip hop you guys are, but you know Mos Def?
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened.
I'm joking.
Yeah, we opened for Mos Def in, I think it was 2013. That was one of our bigger ones because that shit was rammed. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. We did a bunch of, like, there was a time in, we were talking about it today, actually, 2013, 2014, everything kind of stopped because the Canadian dollar went down and promoters stopped bringing out the mid-tier US rappers that would be the type of gigs that we would get. So some of the best ones we ever played, we opened for Hilltop Woods and we opened for Bliss and Esso in Montreal.
Sick.
Unreal.
And they were the best gigs ever because we opened for Hilltop and everyone's like, hip hop gigs are kind of like mad staunch. So they're standing at the back, everyone's like this. We're like, all right, can't watch this. So like we come through and we do this thing where we have half the show on the stage and we go on the floor and we sort of have like, we rap over a Kendrick Lamar beat or a J. Cole beat or something like that. And then as soon as we did that and then went back on stage, then they all rushed the front. They're like, all right, boom, we got him.
Nice.
So like stuff like that was good. Hilltop, because we come out, we haven't performed for a while, but we always come out to like Men at Work Down Under. So we bring the Australian flag, we're holding the flag, and we, you know, really play up the Aussie stuff over here, and that worked pretty well. And Bliss and Esso was great too. That was super cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got your stuff on Spotify?
Yeah, everything's on there under C. On the only verified C. Pardon?
C.
Yeah, C-double-E.
C-E?
Right, sweet. We'll have
C-E-E.
that playing after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like the Spotify thing. If you search for it, you have to look for one of the songs. So like one song I have is called Hazy, which is probably one you remember because it's a bit about beer.
Yeah.
So if you
I
search for
remember that
C
one.
Hazy, that's you just click on that C, you'll see all my stuff. So, yeah, then the music stuff's always, unfortunately, since the beer stuff, it's not taken a back seat, but it's like the beer thing. It's easier to kind of like I found to push ahead. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the difference being you've done music, but the podcast world, or at least in the world of craft beer, like it's been for us. I found it's like taken off more in. There's less competition. And there was room for something new and something different in craft beer podcasting world. Whereas music, there's 8 trillion rappers, everyone's trying to be a rapper, and it's really hard to sort of break through that noise, I found.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to work. We got a bunch of stuff coming and stuff, so we're just trying to like get it out. Also, it's slower. Podcast week, right? With music, it like takes its time. You've got to like, there's just a process, and there's all these different moving parts, unless you do everything yourself. Which we do it in house, but my brother's busy. He's like, he mixes and stuff, and he's you know got jobs. He's got his own hustles and stuff. So yeah, it's good. I do like the music stuff though. I wish we did it a bit more.
Really interesting. I remember when I first started listening to beer podcasts.
You can say pods.
Podos.
Podos. I love it.
Yeah, like everything was really shit. Like, and one of the first things that I heard was you saying it's just a bunch of that middle-aged dudes talking in dull tones and shit. And here's this like, "Are you a BrewHead?" You know, like this like a cool ass intro song, and it's like, okay, yeah, there is a way to do this. This could be cool.
There is a way. There is a better way.
That's really dope,
That's
man.
so cool.
I appreciate that because that was the thing. Like there really wasn't. I feel like there's become more people like you guys, and there's a bunch of like really fun, entertaining, engaging podcasts that aren't speaking to that middle-aged sort of boring group that were just like BJCP kind of people. Yeah. And we're just talking, you know, like just like you guys. I know nothing about beer technically. I'm not trained. We don't know shit, man. We just drank a lot of beer and spoke to a lot of really smart people who make us look good. And that's really what it.
I like it or I don't like it.
Yeah, that's it. But like along the way, though, I'm sure, like, you know, because I've documented, so I know how many unique ones I've had. But, you know, of the amount of beers that you guys had, I imagine you guys must be similar to me. And you've spoken to so many intelligent people that you learn. I mean, even if you haven't, you've still had thousands of unique beers, I would imagine. You would have picked up little nuances. You know about, you know, what different grains do. You know about the different hop profiles. You know how the business works. You know, you pick up this information just from talking to smart people. It's great. I love it. And
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
and you sort of like a sponge by osmosis. You know, we become these mouthpieces for it, and now I'm able to do those 1 minute beer reviews pretty quickly, and I'm able to pull out adjectives. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I get from it, and it's because you've just done this stuff over and over and kept talking to people. So I like that there's amateurs like all of us that aren't beer professionals, like, you know, you guys working in a bottle or still working in a bottle, and I've worked at bars, I guess, or beer bars and stuff, so it's the closest thing to it. And you just kind of figure it out along the way whilst being entertaining and being authentic and talking to you. And I think that's why you guys are working so well, because you guys are just three mates and you're just talking shit. There's no sort of rules to it. You know,
I hate trying to describe what flavours I'm getting out of a beer.
Yeah, me too.
Is you get like, you know, someone who comes on, like, you're supposed to get a smokiness that with the undertones and it, you get the whole specific fruits, you know, like an aspect of like a stone fruit with the. Man, I just get a fruitiness that tastes really good. I don't know how to describe things, but when someone does it and you're like, it does taste like that. And it's.
We don't talk terroir here, man.
Right. But you guys...
Yeah.
Right, it's bloody good. Right, but I imagine that you guys would start to pick up on those small things. You'll start to be... Maybe you don't talk about it, but I imagine, like, oh, yeah, there's that beer again. That's got that mango in it. Yeah, I get it now.
Hey, so, this one's reminiscent of... this brewery's did that one, but this one has more flavour or there's more of a watery, so it's better for a hot day because it's more refreshing. And, absolutely, you pick up those little things. And you don't realise you pick up these things until the question's put to you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
See, to me, this one we're drinking now has got a bit of an alcohol burn on the end of it, doesn't it?
When it warms up.
I think that's hot burn, to be honest.
Hot burn?
I think it's so hot.
So the hot burn's an interesting one. Like, that's something I think I've had in Chris's stuff before, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's dry hopping the shit out of it. And it just kind of, like, comes with the territory, you know?
It's expensive.
Double dry hops.
Tastes expensive.
Tastes expensive.
Yeah, because it is.
Idaho 7 and Sabro.
He charges like $12 to $14 to that thing.
Cashmere.
Fucking Sabro. God damn it.
Sabro. Oh, didn't you read the can
That's
before you
why I'm
brought
not
it?
enjoying it as much as I do.
You don't like Sabro?
I think it was Simcoe.
You don't like Sabro?
No, not really.
No?
No.
You don't like coconut?
But I don't like it in beer.
Fair enough.
And saying that, I liked it in the sticky mango rice.
Yeah, sticky rice IPA.
Ooh.
Man, then I'm probably going to cop a heap of shit when people watch this, but the new James Squire Hop Thief 10 actually has Sabro and Galaxy, I think it is, and it's quite all right. It goes okay.
They're not so bad for, like, you know what? I feel like they're a good gateway brewery, and sometimes these gateway breweries can actually come through with something that's not shit here and there, and it's kind of cool when they do.
They've had three different styles of that, and
they've actually had 10.
Well, the three that I've tried is what, if you let me finish, three that I've tried, and I really like two of them. So I'm interested in this third one for sure. The third one for me. It's all about me.
Mate, come on, I thought we taught you how to count on your fingers, okay? You get up to 10.
Sorry,
surely.
I got shoes on. I can't see my toes.
For people who don't know, James Squire is like a gateway brewery in Australia. I think they're owned by the big boys, right?
They certainly are. You're owned by Lion.
By Lion, okay.
4X and
Yeah. Are they owned by AB or are they somebody else?
What's that, sorry?
Are they owned by Anheuser-Busch as well, or are they like another? Are they just their own self-contained?
I don't think that's. I don't think that is. I think it's Lion of their own entity.
Their own thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love it.
You know another thing?
I could be wrong.
Sorry to throw back to the past again.
Yeah, man.
But I love high season videos of like how to I don't know, like that's where our branding comes from, is from you guys. Like, prior to that, we didn't do any of that sort of stuff.
No shit.
I remember there was this one thing where you were... Oh, look out.
He's into the shapes.
You're like talking about some dude taking photos of beers that he'd been sent because he was an influencer and he'd taken them on his stovetop.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck, I'll take photos on my stovetop.
I'm going to be...
Nice splashback on mine.
Splashback's pretty nice.
Yeah. These weren't good ones.
Almost everything that I've done to change, like now all my photos have like try to do at least almost a perfect white background and remove shadows and shit.
Oh.
So
Wanky, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a professional term.
Again, it's down to you
Semi-Profesh.
guys.
I love that.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
so cool, and thanks for watching that channel.
I just don't want to be laughed at.
No.
No, I'm joking.
No, well,
That's fair.
We all did the stovetop. I used to do stove beers all the time, and the problem was the dude I was talking about is someone that pisses me off a lot. And he hasn't been around anymore, so I hope he's disappeared. But he used to just hassle breweries for beer when he had no followers. He wasn't delivering anything. He had terrible grammar, terrible spelling. He just kind of copied what it said on the label, and he was just.
That
was you?
Sure, it won't make the middleman.
Nah, he's a good bloke. He's a good bloke, eh? Nah, you guys are right, eh? This was this other dude. So, like, we were calling that out because, like, he wasn't an influencer. He was a wannabe influencer. He was just trying to get free shit, and it pissed me off because breweries were buying into it because breweries don't always understand marketing.
Yeah.
And what we were trying to do with the high season stuff was to, like, overall, we're speaking to businesses, but we're trying to show breweries that, like, yo, you have to take marketing serious because otherwise some dude is going to, with 200 followers, is going to hassle you for free beer. You're going to feel bad and think it's worth you sending him out $50 worth of beer to get a shitty write-up and terrible phone photos on the stove. And he would take pictures of beers, like, with the glass half empty, no head, nothing. Like, it was the biggest joke, and it really pissed me off because the problem is that, and this is something that is a unique problem for breweries. I don't know if you guys have sort of encountered this yet, but breweries will send, if you're on their PR list, they'll send the same pack to everybody, regardless if you've got whatever 50,000 followers or 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
So
it's generic.
It's generic, right? And also I understand it because we're business owners, and it's hard to differentiate. But the amount, if you're going to send it to us, and we're going to shoot a video, we've got a $4,000 camera and a $1,000 lens, and like we have editing and stuff, and we do we buy lights, and we've designed our entire home to be photo friendly. And you're going to do all this, we're going to go promote that to our whatever 1,000 followers that we have, and then you're going to send the same thing to someone with 500 followers, and they're going to do a stovetop pic. I'm like, well, why would I bother? Like, why would I do it? And it's not saying that I'm better than anybody. It's just sort of like there's a very big difference to that, and that's something that breweries don't understand. And it's more like we have to adjust what we're going to deliver for breweries. I need content too, but at the same token, I'm trying to do less now for the same thing because I know that the person with 300 to 400, 500 is getting the same shit I am. So it's an interesting thing.
3 feet of white paper and a phone camera. It's pretty impressive nowadays.
Well, you never know what you can do with those things.
Yeah.
They're pretty sick. Like, it's not even really about the equipment, but you know what I'm saying. It's like there's some people who don't know how to freak it and don't know how to do it sick. You could have, imagine, I'm sure there's some people who taking amazing stove photos. There's stove photos. Maybe they got a whole account full of them.
Yeah, that's all good. If you're going out, like you said, you're out to breweries doing stuff, it's, you want the good gear to be able to get a proper photo out in a brewery.
Yeah, that's why we got it. And it just transfers to the other stuff. So the people who are Instagrammers primarily, like, there's just like a bit of a, like, I think just of a lack of understanding about the value of those things and sort of how to approach the different, I don't want to say tiers, like there's levels of them, but I think there is, because there's an Instagrammer and there's podcasters and there's YouTubers and there's all these different types of beer medias that do different things, and maybe you would expect different outcomes from each one. So whatever, it's either way. I'm glad that it made you guys think about your branding and the way you present yourselves.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I started watching one of the videos, and I can't believe you guys give it away for free.
People always say that too.
Yeah. There's like 5 things you can do. I can't remember what it was. And the first one was like post memes and shit. And I was like, all right.
5 ways to grow your followers this week. It's that video.
The new one. Yeah.
Instantly was like, okay, what's relevant? How can I do this? And then work got in the way of it. But like,
I might be on meme patrol.
Yeah, you guys definitely make it back. It's not just me, I'm sure.
Thank you so much.
No, that's really cool. I like hearing that from like the beer world, because it's sort of like, I guess there's a bit of a crossover because now Tiff's been co-hosting the podcast the last 18 episodes. So now it's sort of more fun.
Ever, by the way.
Right? It's much prettier than looking at just a hairy bloke every time.
I try to balance out all the men here,
Right?
Yeah.
You need to chill out the testosterone a bit. Yeah, it's cool. That's what we want. Like, it's good that we're like that makes me really happy, man. That you guys are sort of seeing that and finding some value in it. So we were hoping that this sort of information would carry through to the beer world.
Yeah.
Because we talk about it a bit on here, but not like a ton. But I share it if you follow, I guess, me personally or whatever, you'll see that stuff. So either way, I'm glad it helps. Your logo, just thinking that your logo is fire. I'm really glad you guys got the tees and the merch game because that's like really important.
You did well with that. I'm impressed with
I'm
that.
glad you like it. That's a complete Steve original.
Yeah, that's his design all the way.
Seeing the tee today, I was like, I've always wanted the trash polka style tattoo. I reckon that'd be pretty mad without the Sunday Sesh written on it. Just the microphone and
our faces,
all the hot
though.
flowers.
Instead of the Sunday Sesh, he'll have our faces down the
bottom. Not going to happen.
You should
I
do
don't
it.
like you that much.
I'll wait for about 5 more beers and we'll get back to this conversation.
And break out the tattoo gun, eh?
Yeah.
Steve, if I unplug this, will that record everything that we can hear here?
Or does the mic already picking it up?
No, when everything died, that stopped recording, so I don't have any audio for you anymore.
We got most of it except for the last.
But you can rip it from the.
Well, I can rip from the
Skype,
video,
so it's okay.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
But if
I as a
so that won't
somewhat
start.
of a perfectionist, this is hurting me. But
I'm thinking that won't record.
I can feel the frustration coming from him.
Is that plugged in?
Well, at least
It's
the
just
audio.
like how it normally is. Then
Yeah.
that's fine. Like
Audio's
we rip
being
it,
really
'cause
clean.
Most people don't have a mic, so we normally.
Yeah, we were just trying to be fancy,
Yeah.
because we're talking other podcasts.
Yeah.
We
So-
just tried to make it look like we know what we're doing, at least.
Well,
So this-
you're doing a great job of the looks there.
Yeah.
So, as far as that, we've been hitting about the 2-hour mark now. So I'm not sure if there's anything else we wanted to cover, boys. Is there anything else we wanted to get into, or?
Anything else that we wanted to get into? Or about
anything. I'm
2 hour
happy
mark?
to stand around and talk and drink all day. Like,
it's only about midnight for you guys.
Yeah, 12:30.
It's about 12:30 here.
It's only 2:30 in the afternoon. Like, we're good.
Oh, we're only starting.
Yeah,
we're gonna
just
probably
warming
do a pod after this one. It's gonna be the messiest pod
Yeah.
ever.
Hey,
Ooh.
you're gonna
like
be
that.
agents now.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
bring you back.
I love it. I'm looking forward to that episode. Actually,
That's cool. Like
it's gonna be good.
the post BAOS podcast episode.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get messy. So this audio will drop this Wednesday, so you can tell people about that one on your one if you wanted to hear the messiness and the semi-professionalness. Boys, for real, it's been a genuine pleasure. It's great to finally connect. I know that I've been checking your stuff out and talking to you, Steve, for quite some time now, probably a year or two, I would imagine.
Hey, we've been hanging out in the chat too.
Yeah, so it's been
The
really
live
cool.
Chat, sorry.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's dope. Please keep going. Keep pushing Australian beer and keep promoting that stuff. Where can everybody find the Sunday Sesh or you guys individually online?
So, I mean, if you want to do Instagram, it's the Sunday Sesh IG with an underscore in between everything.
Yep.
Facebook's just the Sunday Sesh.
Sunday Sesh
Yeah,
or Stevo Wood on Facebook if they want to.
Yeah, I'm Mick Ash on Facebook, but I think we should actually start a Stevo,
Sunday
the
Sesh.
Sunday Sesh Stevo,
Yeah.
and a Sunday Sesh Mick.
Yeah.
So we'll try to have a Sunday Sesh Steve, Stevo, and Mick in
Cool.
Facebook to contact.
I
But
like
for
that.
now,
Yeah, Sunday Sesh Steve.
Yep.
The Spotify's. Go.
Yeah, you guys on Spotify, you're on Apple, everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Email.
yeah.
Oh yeah. If any breweries want to send the boys some beer,
Nice.
there you go. Oh, that's easier.
No.
Everywhere.
Everything, just
Yeah. For the hogheads at. Say it.
hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Hotmail.com.
Who has Hotmail anymore, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's still a thing.
You guys switched it up. Just before we wrap up, I want to get the thumbnail. Do you reckon we could all squish you guys into this half of the screen so we can get a nice little thumbnail?
COVID says no, but we say yes.
COVID says no. That's what is that from again?
Oh, that's from Little Britain.
Little Britain. Yes. Oh my god, I haven't heard that in such a long time. Computer says no.
Jesus Christ. Can someone grab that, please? I'm kind of...
We don't even need that, do we?
No, it needed to be taken off so we could get in here.
Cool.
I'm all
Why
going
don't
in the
I-
middle, fellows.
Oh, the little fella in the middle.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't pump.
All right. So, right now,
Okay.
you've got only Mick, only your head's in the bottom left.
There you
Steve,
go.
you're
Okay,
in.
and
Steve,
then
you're there.
Stevie-
There you go.
Perfect,
Ready?
perfect, perfect.
1, 2. Oh, Mick, you're out. You're out. You gotta get back in. There you go. 1, 2.
He's got his hand in front of his face.
Ready? Oh, I think that was bloody glorious, boys. Look at that. Oh, that is fantastic.
Perfect.
That is like the baby
That's
Jesus
funny.
just came through on there. Stick around for a second at the end of the live. I'll wrap this podcast part up.
Yeah,
So, boys, really appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Everyone, thank you for tuning in on the live. We are live typically every Friday at 8 p.m., but you know what? Shit gets a bit zany around here, so stay tuned. We'll let you know when we are. If you enjoyed the episode, mate, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast, and check out the long-form audio so you can hear extraordinarily attractive gentlemen like Steve, Stevo, and Mick talk about craft beer all across the goddamn globe. That's it, boys. We'll see you in the next episode. Get in, ya.
Get it in.
All right, perfect. That was great. Audio's gonna be lit. All right, everyone live, thank you for tuning in. I'll let you boys. If anyone wants to check out your stuff, when do you guys drop episodes?
Whenever we record.
Randomly.
Oh, it's randomly. All right, so just follow.
We'd like to keep it a surprise.
Whenever Steve-O's missus will let him out.
Oh, I like that.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah. So generally, once we record one, we're thinking about once someone's recorded, we're going to
Quick
send.
answer, Mick.
Yeah, going to send something out on the social media saying something's been recorded. Look for this coming out.
Nice.
And then generally takes about a week to be edited. Depends how messy we actually get and how busy Steve is.
We got one next week with a brewery from Rockhampton, which is cool because nobody does anything for Rockhampton.
Fair.
But yeah, that's it.
Love
Nice.
it. All right, boys. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you go follow them, everybody, and we'll catch you all next week. Peace, fellas.
All right.
Thank you. It's been awesome, man.
Fantastic.
Appreciate y'all. Legends.
Yes.
Catches.